What's up, everybody? Welcome back to September Mascot Madness, Part 6, Round of 32, Part 2. My name is Sean, and I adjust my legs a lot when I stream and sit in this chair. So I push back, and I always look weird, and I'm like, maybe I should get a different chair, and then I never do. We, today, are hoping for two things. Well, we're hoping for one thing, and we're doing one other thing. The thing that we're doing is we're punching the final 8 tickets to the Sweet 16. And the thing that we're hoping for is that the games are better today than they were yesterday, because they were rough. I love when I do something and I don't realize that I did it, and I can't remember if I did because I wasn't paying enough attention because I was trying to talk. Alright. I believe I have this set up correctly. Texas Tech and Missouri is the inaugural game today. I believe. Yes, it is. Alright, so we have Yosemite Sam taking on a naked tiger, if I remember correctly. Who is this? Texas Tech. Missouri. And we learned that they were the final in the M letters of things. Let's get you caught up real quick on the bracket standings. We have the Beeb in first place. They have 22 points with a score potential of 36. Redneck Girl is in second with 21 points, 133 points score potential. Important games today would be Florida for them. So we have one important game to keep an eye on. That's Florida. I am currently in third place. I have a score of 18, but I only have a score potential of 28, and there's nothing for me anymore because all 4 of my Final Four teams are eliminated. Blind Guess is brought to you by Harper. Georgia Tech is the important one for them. They have 15 points and a 53-point score potential, so Georgia Tech will keep a close eye on that. And then it's a guessing game. Was hanging on with a pretty good score potential until Oregon State lost yesterday. They currently have 13 points. Score potential is now only 47. And Texas Tech is the important game today. So there's the 3 games that we need to keep an eye on throughout the rest of the tournament. Florida, Georgia Tech, and Texas Tech. So we're all caught up. I got to give myself a thumbnail. Or I guess maybe just like a regular smile. Perfect. Perfect. This is the matchup that we want to lead off with. There we go. All right, and that's real early in the video. Excellent. Let's get started here. Texas Tech took out the fellow Yosemite Sam contestant in UNLV. And then Missouri won the Battle of the Naked Tigers. And now they square off against each other in Missouri. Not exactly sure which city. Page Sports Arena in Columbia, Missouri. I feel like I should know that solely from Greg Miller. We play on All-American, 10 minutes. Baseline mid is the camera. And by we play, I mean they play. I do not actually play any of these games. I just commentate for your hopeful enjoyment. And we'll look for some good games today. I feel like the good games have been few and far between, and we've had a lot of games that have had good halves that have not continued into good second halves. So, here we go. TTE versus Miz. Texas Tech with a quick pass inside, up and in. We have a whole 8 games for you. We're starting on this side and working our way down. Then we'll transfer to this side and work our way down that way. Nice 2 and a good response there from Missouri. Missouri, all their clothes apparently burned up on the way here. And by way here, I mean somebody set fire to the equipment room or something. Because they're just naked tigers just hanging out on the court. Quite literally hanging out on the court. Texas Tech jams it on home. Working it around outside. Back inside. back outside, back inside, outside, outside, inside. All that good stuff. Oh, I didn't change which console we're playing on. This is on Xbox. This is not on a PlayStation 4 Pro. The cool thing, like, thankfully, like, I can tweak the stream settings and like titles and all that stuff while I'm up like walking around and doing that. So it's nice to be able to multitask. Walk around, you walk downstairs, talk to your brother, you say, hey brother, you playing the PGA Tour golf, enjoy. That was almost a goaltend for no reason. It was already a foul called, and then this Tiger was like, I'm gonna block it. I got you, buddy. Don't worry, they'll wave off this foul when I block the shot. Rattles it home. First free throw is good. A little ketchup and mustard today. As Texas Tech goes 2-for-2 from the line. Hopefully we have some good matches coming up today. Hopefully we have good matches in the Sweet 16, which will be tomorrow at the same time here on Twitch. It'll be Saturday, the 26th on YouTube. We'll wrap it up on that day, Saturday, September 26th. Crown our 4th champion, or the second time we crowned Louisville, because goodness gracious. Remember when Oklahoma was leading in that game? Remember when they were up by 5 and it was like, oh, maybe this is going to be a different result than I was anticipating, and then Louisville was like, lol. Nah, we're going to go ahead and just cream them now. Tried to adjust the shot, got fouled. So Missouri will look to tie the game from the line. First shot, good. Texas Tech giving up 3 points in a row. Oh, and only 3 points. The putback, no good. 2 tip-ins, no. He gets to the rebound again and still can't make it. That guy went 0 for 3 on 1 possession. Not a lot of people or Tigers get to do that. But that Tiger did. So, cheer it on. As it had a number of point-blank shots that it just couldn't get to drop correctly. Remains 6-5. Missouri was like, why go for the tie when we can go for the lead? Quick pass inside. We have a couple of teams. Ooh, that one's a foul. That was a quick cutaway. We'll see if maybe the replay shows us a little something. Okay. I guess the game just knew that the shot wasn't going to go inside. Texas Tech replaying the favor by missing a free throw as well. That one bounced on the rim a couple of different times. Second one is true, so back to a 2-point lead for Texas Tech. We have kind of a slow-paced start here. We've seen a couple of possessions take a long time to develop. Working deep into the 35-second shot clock. Into a double team, kicking it back out. It's a one-on-one down in the paint. Back across the court from the right to the left. It's a dangerous pass. Usually floaty passes like that do get picked off. They were able to find something inside and grab 2 points. So Missouri maybe working with a little more of a sense of urgency. Texas Tech working with a kind of a same sense of urgency. It was a nice block, but unfortunately unable to come up with the loose ball. And Texas Tech able to get 2 points. 1 block should usually equal 2 points, 0 points, not 1 block, 2 points. Nice dunk there by Missouri. Apparently both of these teams heard me say that they were slow, taking their time, just moseying on through the basketball game, and they've picked up the pace over the last couple of possessions. That is the second team foul on number 15, third team foul for Missouri. Texas Tech doing them a solid here by missing free throws. Missing 2 free throws, getting his own rebound, and putting it back anyway, so to the most absurd way. And we did not see a timeout, so they'll leave that player in. That shot is up. Usually when a player has 2 fouls in the first quarter of the game, first 5 minutes or so, they do get removed from the game by the coach. Nice 3-point opportunity here, and yet again we have, I don't know who that was, I should have looked. Is that number 15? He might have he might have just picked up his 3rd foul. Either way, it's Missouri's 4th team foul. Yeah, number 15 is going to go ahead and come on out. He's picked up way too many fouls here. I don't anticipate us seeing him for the rest of this half. Which, I mean, that's exactly why you see. We'll see what Texas Tech does here with number 42 if they get pulled, because that's 2 fouls on them. But that's why you pull, is you don't want another cheap 3rd foul. They will go ahead and pull number 42. So Texas Tech would have played it the way I would have played it. Sub that guy out. Don't get another cheap foul. Hang out on the bench for a couple minutes. Come on in with 3 minutes remaining in the game, or in the first half. Just hope you can close it out. Because now you have Texas Tech, who will probably sit that player on the bench for a couple of minutes, versus Missouri, who's going to probably go the rest of the half without number 15. We'll see if he gets checked back in before the second half. Out of bounds Missouri ball. Texas Tech all over this Missouri offense with some excellent defense here. 14-13. 20 seconds on the shot clock to go. Passing around the outside. A lot of activity down in the paint, which is the opposite of what we've seen in some of the games where there's no one hanging out down there. Shot was not good looking from the start. Ends with a missed basket. Driving, and that's going to be a foul. So that is the 5th team foul on Missouri. As they swish it on in. 14-14. And now 15-14. So Texas Tech regains the lead, taking advantage of the free throws that they've been given. They have missed quite a few, so the game is much tighter than it could be. Actually, maybe not, because they missed the one time they missed 2 free throws. They still got those 2 points anyway. Maybe I forgot about that. It happened, and then I immediately threw it out of my memory. They run a sharpshooter out there. Oh, nice pick. That's what I was talking about, those floaty passes. Granted, that was more trying to get into the interior of the defense. That one flipped up and good. Bounced off that right rim and dropped. But those floaty passes give the defense enough time to adjust to where it's going and at least try to pick it off. Kind of had to go for it, because if that got behind him, it was all over. 19-15, 3-point play is complete. Oh, off that back rim. Couldn't get it. Offensive rebound, though. Put back and good. Just bounce. It's so weird. It looks so weird when it just, like, bounces on the bottom and rolls on off. Another foul. Foul Fest 020 happening right here in the state of Missouri. Columbia, Missouri. Like 5 or 16 fouls on Missouri. There's 4 on Texas Tech. Missouri needs to be careful, because if they get too many more, they'll start putting Texas Tech on the line regardless of what the foul call is. Another steal there by Missouri. Flipped it behind his back like a cool guy, trying to impress the cheerleader. Kind of worked. It was a nice pass, but it led to a just demolishing, devastating block by Texas Tech. He's played really good defense here in the first half. Now another devastating block. Another devastating block. Just getting his hands on all the balls thrown his way. 21-19. 3 minutes to go here. We'll see if at the next dead ball, Texas Tech brings in that player that has two fouls. Or if maybe they just let him stick it out on the bench. That was a nice inside pass there. We had a 23-19 game, by the way. I just did not call it out. We had the old white sock game. Pass to the outside, inside. Little flip shot up and good. Coach has to pull him over. Come here. Come here. You have to shoot it over the defender, okay? He's tall and good at blocking things, so you need to, like, get a little more lift under the shot, right? Nice jam home by Texas Tech. Missouri moving quickly here. That's a 2-on-4. Not really going to work in Missouri's favor. That's a 3, though. That will work in Missouri's favor. The last 5 minutes or so have been pretty fast-paced as far as the offenses have been concerned. Somehow Texas Tech got that to go. I don't know how that worked. Yosemite got through like 2 defenders and just kind of flipped it up there. As Missouri does the same thing, kind of just flips it up. It always feels good. I bet it feels good when you're a coach and you feel like you're listened to, you know? Back outside. Stripped away. Missouri pulling it away here. There's a 3 for Missouri off the back iron. No good, but the putback is good. So a 7-point lead here for Missouri. Largest lead of the game, 32-25. Really caught fire here at the end of the half. Oh my goodness, nice block by Missouri, paying Texas Tech back for all the balls that have been slapped back in their faces. Leads to a fast break and a quick, nice mid-range jump shot there. It is 34-25. I would not have guessed this. That is team foul number 6 for the Tigers of Missouri. So they have no more fouls to give. Next foul, regardless, will go to the line. And the fouls do reset at half. I don't know if I've made that clear. Or if the information is needed. I'm not sure. But they do reset. The team fouls reset. The personal fouls do not. That one's up, and the shot's not going to go. It's weirdly quick with that cutaway. No, it went. Game. What are you doing? I'm broadcasting this. Don't make me look dumb. Oh, that's off the left iron and no good. I did not think that was going to go. The other time that it cut away really quickly, it was like, oh no, it didn't make it. That one dropped. Swinging their sharpshooter out to the 3-point line. Presumably, they'll give it a pretty good look at a 3 off the right iron. No good. Missouri looked like they were going to run a fast break there, but elected not to. 5 seconds. That one's out of bounds. Texas ball. So Texas will get it with 4.6 remaining. 3. That is a real deep 3. Did not go. Probably had a second for an extra step to try and get a little bit closer. But that's okay. Texas Tech will come on into the second half here, which has already started. They'll be down 36-27 before that 2-pointer went in. So 9 points, now 11. Missouri having a lot more luck than the home teams did yesterday. The home teams went 2-6 yesterday. It's 38-29. It's a 9-point game now. Had to do the math in my head because I almost said it wrong. I'm good with addition and multiplication. Division and subtraction I'm not super great with. And I'm even worse when it's like either 9 or 11 points because I usually get them backwards. 1 for 2 from the free throw line. So it didn't look like Missouri or Texas Tech brought their players with the free throw issues, or the foul issues, back into the game. 3-pointer is short. Texas Tech with the rebound. Down by as many as 11. Realistically, no, it was still 11. I mean, there's a nice jam home. Cut it to 6. 38-27. Missouri going on a little bit of a dry spell here. Can't get anything to go, and you can't throw the ball out of bounds like that. Missouri, Missouri, why do you make me worry whether or not you're going to win the game? I think they're going for that three-point play again. Excellent defense by Missouri. It was a little crowded in that area anyway. Nice find inside, get away from the defenders. And it's just like that, it's a 4-point game. Just like that. One shot, they made up 36 points. They had -2 apparently for that joke to work. 3-pointers just not dropping from Missouri. They're a little short. Know all about things being a little short. See what the Tigers can do here. We gotta get something going on offense here. That will definitely help. Hard to miss a dunk. It does happen in this game for some weird reason. They definitely do it. Working it around the outside. Flip it inside. Texas Tech there getting blocked right at the rim. Take it away. Nice play by Texas Tech to get a turnover off the block shot. Didn't lead to anything, but didn't give Missouri any points. Whole mess of a situation going on there. Texas Tech had it closed down to 4. They've given up a couple of baskets here. Now it's back to 8. There's a nice easy play inside. Got behind the defense and was just ready to make the play. I stopped that sentence because I thought for sure he was going to run out of bounds. I don't know how that did not hit the line on the side and get called out of bounds. See if both teams kind of get hot from the field here. Trading twos these last couple of possessions. Texas Tech passing it around the outside. 1-on-2 inside. A whole lot going on. Texas Tech sucking a lot of time off this play clock. Finally making a move inside. It took 32 seconds, but they did come away with a couple of points. 44-38. 6 minutes remaining here, second half. I was looking for that second quick pass inside. They didn't go for it. Instead, they're going to give Texas Tech a very easy block. Unfortunately, and what's weirdly common in this game is how frequently the offense retains possession by getting a hold of the loose ball. Very odd. These excellent defensive plays are being negated by the fact that the offense is still coming away with 2 points. And Texas Tech has to have double-digit blocks at this point. I guess when you get 3 blocks on one possession, you're in good position to have multiple oh my goodness, have double-digit blocks. 3-on-1 opportunity here. Defense does a nice job recovering, but it's not good enough. There it is. There he dribbled the ball out of bounds like a big buffoon. Unforced error, and that'll give the ball back to the Red Raiders. You can cut it to 2, 1 with a 3. They'll opt for the 2, little mid-range. And with 5 minutes to go in the second half, Texas Tech now down 2. Down 11 at the very start of the half, after the first possession by Missouri, to be exact. They've been able to whittle this lead down. And what's most interesting is they've been able to whittle it down. They got it down to 4. It got back to 8. Texas Tech will retain possession here. It kind of like started to look like they were going to lose it, and it went back up to 8 points. But then they've actually been able to whittle it down back to 4 again. Usually, I bring that up because usually we see teams that are like down between 9 to 12 points. Dunk there. I believe that was a missed dunk and then a putback dunk. One Tiger said to the other, "This is how you put it in the hole." They're down somewhere between 9 to 12 points. It kind of holds at that for a while, and the team that's behind makes one good run, and that's it. And then they fall apart and they can't maintain that momentum. Texas Tech has been able to get close, fall a little bit further behind, and get close again. They're down 6 now, rotating between a 4 and 6 point deficit. See if they cut it in half with a 3 here. running it, spinning it inside. They're going to go into a double team. It's going to be stripped and stolen by the Missouri Tigers. And I'm sure right as I said that, Texas Tech's going to take a dump all over the court and lose real bad now. Nice play inside by Missouri to pick up a 3-point opportunity. Remember, Texas Tech, an important game or an important team. It is a Final Four pick from one of the brackets. They are currently down 9 after the 3-point play. So 55-46. We're just breezing through this first game here. The fouls have been a lot more, a lot fewer and further between, which is nice. Texas Tech looked like they were going to try and get a steal right there. And then just elected not to play defense there. Said, no, I'm good. You get the easy 2. Could be a player with foul problems. Could be just a weird glitch in the game. It doesn't register correctly who should go where in that specific instance. As far as computer versus computer playing, I mean, if you have a user-controlled player, I'd assume that you would at least try. But it is a high potential of a foul and giving him a 3-point play when you can just give him an easy 2 and just say, hey, it happens. No big deal. Let's see. 9-point game. The Red Raiders need to get 6 points, as it's now an 11-point game. It's back out to the place it started at the very beginning of the second half. They need to, that's a good start. Now they need to get 4 more points. Cut it down to 5. Cut it down to 5 with possession of the ball in the next 66 seconds. I think they'll be in an okay position to at least give a good effort to try and get the intentional foul situation going. Another excellent block by Texas Tech. It is again recovered by the offense, but the putback is missed. Nice, easy fast break for the Red Raiders. And there you go. 2 more defensive stops here. We'll see what Missouri elects to do here, if they go fast, if they slow it down a little bit. It looks like they're willing to just milk some clock here. Passing it back around. Texas Tech has no reason to foul. They shouldn't. They'll get the ball with a little over a minute to go. They're still not in a terrible position as far as point spread is concerned. There's a deep 3 off the right iron, no good. Texas Tech comes away with the rebound. No timeout. Working it around. Pass inside. Little mid-range shot. Rattles around the rim and drops. Thought that was going to miss. All right, here you go. The Red Raiders don't necessarily need to foul. But if they are going to, they need to foul right now. $20 seconds gives them about 24. That took way too long. Way too long. I liked what they did there. I liked that they tried to get a 10-second violation, a 10-second half-court violation, try to force a turnover, work with kind of a full-court defense sort of thing. But as soon as they crossed that line, you should have started fouling. There was no point. If you were going to end up intentionally fouling anyway, there's no reason for you to let that much time run off the clock. No reason whatsoever. Defensive foul. That'll put Texas Tech on the line, or Missouri on the line. Excuse me. Excellent play. I don't know what makes that an excellent play, but this is exactly what the Red Raiders need. That is exactly it. I do wonder if you get the ball across half court, if you can work with, you can advance the ball. I don't know how that works in college. 2-pointer, you can do that. You can't miss it, though. See if Missouri buckles down here. Texas Tech is going to take a timeout. It is a 7-point game. There's a 3 from Texas Tech. All right. You're going to need a few more of those, or a couple more of those. Team foul number 9, so this is the last 1-and-1. 5 points. Now up to 6. Red Raiders taking a timeout. Run it up the side. He almost ran it out of bounds. Texas Tech's got to go. There's no way. I agree. There's no way. 5-second violation. Absolute trash ending. God damn it. All right, well, that'll do it for the Red Raiders, who lose 63-57, the worst possible time for you to do that. God dang it. Just an absolute... We saw one of those yesterday. Just a moronic bonehead play. Was it... it was Miami. Miami was down 3 and they didn't even take a shot. Like, oh, okay. Cool. Good for you, I guess. Yikes. All right. Well, see you later, Yosemite Sam. The Naked Tiger marches on. I'll have to go on the road to face the winner of the next game, which is either going to be LSU or South Carolina. We've seen a lot of LSU in these tournaments. They are usually very good. They had one tournament where they got eliminated pretty early. What's the other one? Sean. Oh, only one tournament where they got eliminated early. Otherwise, they have finished very well. South Carolina. The Gamecocks taking on the Tigers. This is an SEC matchup. We are going to cough into our elbow first, but we're going to Columbia, South Carolina. Wow. First Columbia, Missouri, then Columbia, South Carolina. Unbelievable. The Columbia episode, or Columbia part. As we have the Gamecocks and the Tigers tipping off here. The Tigers win. Tigers win, and they take advantage by making their first shot. 2-0 LSU, stolen away by the Tigers. And that's going to be a defensive foul just shoved in the back. Didn't really matter. Ended up in the same result that it normally would have, which is 2 points for LSU. So 4-0. USC, not that USC, the other USC. Everybody on the right side of the court here. If this offensive player can maybe shake that defender. They had a really good free run at the hoop there. Got an elbow into that Tiger's chest, and could have an all-Tiger matchup here in the Sweet 16 should LSU win and move on to face Missouri. Careful on that sideline. Getting dangerously close to it. Did that weird thing where it was trying to run that three-point play that I talk about a lot in these episodes. But weirdly, I just don't know if I just didn't notice it or if it's in this specific tournament, but they keep stacking players like that, and it's very odd. It means that the ball goes to the wrong player sometimes, because the idea is obviously you're trying to get a wide open three-point shot. Wow, is that the sun? Wow, incredible. You don't realize what you miss until it's covered by smoke for a week. It's like golden hour in this room right now. Quick, come shoot all your film scenes now. Because the players are all kind of cluttered together, it takes the offense an extra half a second to get the ball to them, which gives the defense an extra half second to recover. Finish that thought. So we have a plain number 1. Just a regular single 1 versus an 0-1. Interesting. Shot is long off the right iron and no good. South Carolina can get their first lead of the game here. Just kidding. They'll turn the ball over instead. And South Carolina will repay the favor. South Carolina has probably my least favorite mid-court logo. That thing is awful. Arkansas's is also very bad. On the flip side, Minnesota has one of the better ones. That sweet gopher dribbling a basketball. Nice make there. And South Carolina held their lead for only a brief moment. One possession, one defensive possession to be exact. That's going to be out of bounds, LSU ball. I always have to look up in the corner because it looks very similar from this camera position if it's going to be a foul or if it's going to be out of bounds. That time it was deemed a foul. Or an out of bounds, I'm sorry. Deemed out of bounds. I said it and I knew it was wrong and I was like, why? Why was that wrong? There's a deep three from the corner. Swished. And it gives LSU a 3-point lead. 2 quick passes inside. Defenses have a really hard time recovering from that. South Carolina doing a weird thing as they go back up the court. Whoa, it wasn't me, man. See that a lot in just basketball in general. Hey, I didn't do it. I couldn't have possibly punched him in the face. My hands are all the way over here. Oh, nice steal by South Carolina. Oh, you always see it with the instigators too. They're like, whoa, I couldn't have possibly. Me? Little old me? 3 from South Carolina gives them a 2-point lead. Nice shot there. I couldn't have possibly antagonized him. No way, no how. You're like, oh, okay. Yeah. I feel like if you put your hands up like that, you're more guilty. If you're actively trying to convince me that you didn't do something, I didn't touch the ball last. I didn't touch it. Couldn't have touched it. Hands all the way back here. The ball's all the way over there. Couldn't have been me. Oh my gosh, nice jam home there. LSU and USC. Not that USC. The other USC is Southern California, by the way. For those of you who are like, why does he keep saying that? Flipped around his hands there and made a more acrobatic shot. He's like, Stacy, do you see? Stacy. Nice block. Looking around the outside. Getting dangerously close to that baseline bandit. Another block from South Carolina. LSU recovering these loose balls, though. And then they'll just do them a favor and step out of bounds. Hey, South Carolina, you did really good blocking our shots over and over and over again. We think you deserve the ball. So we're just going to go ahead and step out of bounds as a reach-in is called on LSU, number 2. We're going to step out of bounds, and we'll give you the ball, okay? You worked really hard for it. We're proud of you. Here you go. South Carolina, though, unable to come away with points there. Nice move by LSU, trying to get some momentum going on the offensive end. Got off to a good start. It's been a little stagnant since. As we approach 6 minutes gone here in the first half. At least the previous game was not a complete and total blowout. Texas Tech did a good job at least making it competitive. They had an absolutely moronic run at the end, but hey, sometimes it happens. LSU playing a little half-hearted defense there. Their full court defense. Stripped away, picked up by South Carolina. Nice defense there. LSU just didn't have anybody to help recover the loose ball there. And it goes down as an offensive rebound for South Carolina. We'll put it home and regain the lead. A lot of Gamecocks down there. Probably could have, thrown it to literally anyone. If they're pro tip. If you're playing basketball and there are 4 defenders on you, there is a very solid chance, I'm going to say like 50-50, that literally anyone else is open. Just anyone. Just throw the ball in the general vicinity and they'll be able to get it. Both free throws are good, so it's not that big of a deal. Meet him at half court, trying to trap him in the corner there. Doesn't really work at all. Instead, he just takes it all the way. What? Oh, don't worry about this full court pressure. We're good. I'll just take it coast to coast. No big deal. Big 3 for LSU. Gives them the lead. LSU backing off their defense, which is probably a good move on their part. They weren't really doing anything to affect South Carolina's offense, and it was just putting them at too much of a disadvantage on the other end of the floor. First free throw is missed. Not a lot of fouls in this game. All right. Tigers can't get a defensive rebound. It's put back, so all ends up square in the end. 2 points were scored just from the floor instead of from the free throw line. Working around the outside. Passing back. Back around. Working a lot here in the perimeter. Not a ton going on down in the paint. They had 2 players that looked like they were going to hang out in the paint for a second, but then just elected not to. Tried to get the float shot up over the defender. Not enough on it, though. South Carolina comes down for an easy jam and 2 points of their own to give them a 3-point lead with a little over 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Pretty quickly paced first half here. Back outside. Inside. Double team. Dangerously close to that. Out of bounds. Baseline Bandit gets the LSU Tigers. Steps right on it. I have not seen a player that far down the court work along the baseline like that. And they get it almost under the hoop. Usually they step out of bounds or pass it before they even get into the paint. There's a deep 2 for LSU. That'll tie up the game. 23-all. Just double check it to make sure that was a 2. Hard to tell. There's a foul, and that one's going to go up and in. South Carolina. Opportunity for a 3-point play, but more realistically for them, an opportunity for a 4-point play because they will miss the free throw, and LSU will not get the defensive rebound. I was 2/3 correct. LSU just unable to put it back in. Deep 2 for LSU. Nothing doing there. The guy went for the putback even though the ball was clearly behind him. Just missed time to jump. Through 2 defenders. South Carolina can't get anything going. Back around the outside. There's a good look at a 3. It's off the iron, no good. That was another poorly timed jump trying to get a putback, and he should just be trying to get the rebound. You're only down 2. You don't need... It doesn't need to be incredible. It just needs to be points. You get such a good start to the first half, and LSU's struggled here in the last couple of minutes. Another miss. That one finally put back correctly because he went to the floor first before slamming it home. 14 seconds. 2-point game, 27-25. Working around the outside, one-on-one in the paint. Looks like the Tigers are working with kind of a zone defense look here. 3-pointer is short. Took all the time they needed off the clock to not give LSU an opportunity to score anything. So that will be our halftime score, 27-25. South Carolina up by 2. They will get the ball first, looking to extend their lead. Working outside, nice drive in the lane, blocked or stripped. Something happened down there. It's just a bunch of feathers and fur. I couldn't tell what was happening. I'd like to thank both of our contestants for at least wearing shirts today. after staring at a naked tiger for 28 minutes. Nice to see some clothes, you know. 29-27. That was a good first half. That was a solid first half of basketball. We'll hope for another solid half of basketball as we punch our 10th ticket to the Sweet 16. That was not a good shot. Did the thing where he looked like he was going to go for one type of shot and then the animation changed. He tried to throw it off, tried to like flip it up around, but instead he just threw it into the bottom of the net. The referee has to pull him over. Hey, over the rim, not into the bottom of the rim, over, okay? Go get him. 29-29. Not 100% sure what happened there. Out of bounds, I would assume. LSU gets 2 points. I was too busy doing a bit there. So LSU regains the lead. South Carolina looks like they're far more willing to work near the paint. They have a couple players down there. There are a lot of Tiger defenders in the area. A little alley-oop play there. Looked like it either got blocked or just kind of got lost in the shuffle. Didn't matter. South Carolina came up with the loose ball, put it back in anyway. Kind of late on the pass. Looked like he had a pretty good look at mid-range too. Working near the baseline. See, that's usually about where they get, which is like right about the U in the South. And then they either go for it or they just pass out of the situation. 31 all. Well, it's been a very competitive game so far. There's a 2 for South Carolina. I was waiting for the crowd to confirm for me. You wait for the crowd to go 3 as LSU makes a 2. Two on one. That's a goaltend. That was not an intentional goaltend. A lot of goaltends are like intended like to be blocks, but they're just poorly timed. That looked like the Tiger just like accidentally spun around and hit the ball on its downward arc. So that'll make the game tied. Had a lot of goaltends in this tournament. Off the right iron, too strong. Nothing doing there. 33 all. There's a deep 3 for South Carolina. That's a really deep 3. I didn't think that was going to have much of a chance. They proved me wrong. Working with that. Ooh, stripped away. Pass up the court. It's a 2-on-1 opportunity for South Carolina. It's going to end in a foul. That was a very weird sequence of events. It was a 2-on-1, but for some reason both of the Gamecocks ended up in the same area on the court instead of each picking one side to go down and making the defender choose which one he wanted to defend. Led to a foul, 2 points, so it's kind of that it's all even anyway. It's just interesting. You don't usually see it like that. Usually you see one of the players just keep the ball. There's a deep 3 for LSU, which is a smidge too strong off that right iron and bounces out. Come on, LSU. LSU, we have a person in the chat rooting for you. Working around the outside. Into the corner. 10 seconds. Or under 10 on the shot clock. 5. Quick pass inside. That was a long time to go for 2 points, but finally we were able to break the defense, get a matchup that they liked. LSU looking for that 3. Oh, they keep shooting them. You live by the 3, you die by the 3, and currently LSU is dying by the 3. That was a good look at it. That's a deep 2. Nothing doing there, and it's going to be put back by South Carolina. South Carolina taking over the game a little bit here. 42-33. There's another three from LSU, and they finally get one to go. One for their last 4 or so. Cut the lead down to 6. Obviously, plenty of time. Nothing to worry about. South Carolina doesn't quite run the play as crisply as LSU did. So LSU had that opportunity to get back on defense and make it a nice, make it contested and elected. And the South Carolina player, I should say, that's way off. Elected to not even worry about it. That guy coming open for 3 there. One's inside, it's blocked. That one's short off the front iron. 1-on-1 here. Kind of just let him go. That was good defensive position. That should have been more of a contest than it was. 44-36. Nice jam home there. So LSU, here we go. 2 good defensive stops. Get 4 points. I think there's a game coming down the stretch, huh? What do you say? What do you say? There, nice run down the lane. He couldn't get the ball to drop in the hoop, though. Oh, my goodness. That was such a good play. Just split the defenders and just too strong. So LSU now having to work with some good defense. Gamecocks falling away. The 3 is short. The fall-away 3 is short. Put back is good, though. It's 46-38. South Carolina may have just enough of a lead that they can withstand here. You had a guy wide open in the corner. Instead, you took a really contested hook shot that you should not have gone with. Stripped away. Nice steal by LSU. LSU should get a good look at it, too. South Carolina's had an interesting strategy here where they've actually pushed players in the back to not give up the easy buckets, which is the exact opposite sometimes you see where players just trail off from the play. They go, no, you can have 2. South Carolina's like, fuck that. We would like no points, please. There's a 3 for South Carolina, and that one splashes home. 240, 9 points. LSU's got to be +5 over this next. That's not really helpful. That's also not helpful. Took 3 shots, they got 2 points. No. There's still time. Still time, still hope. You do worry about that 3 that South Carolina was able to hit. Is that the one that they needed? That's a nice strip right there. Those are the only kinds of strips we want to see. Missouri. 49-44. Down 5. 2 minutes to go. South Carolina way overran that spot for the 3-point shot. And they'll pass it inside, 1-on-1. There's a little shoulder into him, trying with a spin move, trying with another spin move. Somehow got over that defender. I don't know how that happened. That looked like it was excellently timed. So it's a 7-point game here. The Tigers have played well down the stretch. Or over the last couple minutes, I should say. Because that is the correct way to say it. Down the stretch would be this point right now. There's a 3 for LSU. It drops. Rattles home. 51-47. 90 seconds to go. If I'm the Tigers, I do not foul. I don't foul. There's no reason. You're only down 4. And even if they take all of the shot clock off, you still get the ball with 55 seconds to go, which is plenty of time. There is no reason for the fouling to start now. LSU just can't get the blocks. South Carolina is doing an excellent job of getting it up and over the defenders. LSU has 60 seconds to make up 6 points. There's a 3. Short. Probably start to see some fouls here. Or not. Oh, stolen away. Okay. All right. I was just beginning to question their decision to do that, but the steal definitely helps. There's no reason for you to pass it all the way up the court. You need to move quickly, but still get a good look. That is the opposite of a good look. Don't you dare get a 5-second call. Don't you dare get a 5-second call. It's a highly contested 3. I don't know how. That was the one that went down. We'll start to foul here. South Carolina, that's only the second team foul. So LSU, the bright side is they have a lot of opportunities to get an inbound pass steal. The downside is they have a lot of fouls to do that is going to take a little time off the clock. Not a ton, but it takes, what was it, 7/10 of a second maybe? One more opportunity, see if they want to try and steal an inbound here. Down to 19.1 seconds, I believe. Maybe just an even 19. First free throw is good. Second free throw is good as well. LSU takes a timeout. They'll make a substitution here. They're down 5. They need 2 threes. And like a missed free throw. You have to go quickly. That is a deep 3. That unfortunately will do it for the LSU Tigers. Well, that was good while it lasted. Alright, so South Carolina is moving on. 55-50. They will take on Missouri in the Sweet 16. Next up, we have a former champion, Arizona State, taking on Georgia Tech, a.k.a. the Buck Bumbles. Not play now. I pushed down on the D-pad. Thank you very much. Georgia Tech, Arizona State, winners of September Mascot Madness 1, if I remember correctly. Sun Devils, a lot of yellow on this one. Going to Wells Fargo Arena in Temple, Arizona. Arizona State, well known for their distractions while other players are taking free throws. I do not find it as endearing as other people do. I actually find it really annoying and try hard, but we'll go ahead and just let them have their fun. Wall of distraction, I think is what they call it. Whatever it is. I don't know. It's garbage. It's garbage. James Harden went to Arizona State. And Georgia Tech scores a 3. Georgia Tech probably more known for their football accomplishments than their basketball accomplishments. And when you play defense like that, as I pull something, what the hell? What's on my tongue? Probably the taste of disappointment from Fall Guys today. I also opened the wrong water. So, good for me. Five to 2. Out of bounds. Georgia Tech will take possession. Possession of the ball. Oh, that one's out of bounds. Out of bounds. So a couple out of bounds here, a couple turnovers. Needless turnovers. ASU's court is a little cluttered. I don't know if that Wells Fargo logo is big enough. If they could blow that up a little bit, I think it'd really help remind me that I'm at Wells Fargo Arena. Wells Fargo, we're a shitty bank. I think that's their slogan, if I remember correctly. So which one of these yellow-clad teams will join the Sweet 16? Three-pointer from Georgia Tech is good, and they are shooting well from downtown so far. Just as a reminder, if Georgia Tech wins I'll play Buck Bumble on stream just for fun. All kinds of stuff going on here on twitch.tv/OnSourceX. You can win a sub for filling out brackets and winning the bracket challenge. That's pretty cool. 3 for Arizona State's no good. If Georgia Tech wins, I'll play a dumb Nintendo 64 game that I've never even seen anything of. I just know the song. Almost stolen away by Arizona State. Georgia Tech off to a very fast start here, 10-3. Oh, there it is. There's the horn from the intersection. Arizona State much more willing to work around the perimeter. Finally sliding a guy into the paint. Georgia Tech just went up with the wrong hand. Made it nice and easy for Sparky to get the shot up and over. So Georgia Tech, very important team here as they just obliterate the defense and then get obliterated by an excellent defensive recovery. I thought that was going to be easy too. That Sun Devil came out of nowhere. Georgia Tech all of a sudden is only up by 3. Swinging it around. There's a 3 from Georgia Tech, and it is good. The Yellow Jackets splashing it home from 3. I feel like the second I cheer for Georgia Tech, it's all going to go downhill. Yeah, go Arizona State. Do it. Do good. Put the ball in the hole. 13-8. And 13-9. Georgia Tech had one of the most incredible wins we have ever seen in the Mascot tournament in the first round. I am certain that it will be a top 5 game. We haven't had a ton of really great games as Georgia Tech splashes home another 3. But we have had 2 pretty amazing finishes. The Georgia Tech finish, and I believe it was Florida as well. We almost had a really good game yesterday. Wisconsin erased a 12-point deficit, but just struggled down the stretch. Georgia Tech able to recover the block off the steal, or the turnover. Couldn't get any points home, stealing it away again. That was a dangerous pass, coming right across that midcourt line. There's a nice play inside. Bounces off the rim a couple of times, and drops. So 18-9, Georgia Tech over ASU so far. Passing back outside. Arizona State working it around. Not doing a whole lot of movement off ball. There's a nice pass inside. And that's going to be a 3-point play opportunity. Got excellent position on the defender. Able to flip it up and good. What if all the top 5 games are just Georgia Tech? Or 4 of them are Georgia Tech and one of them's Florida. Or the flip of that. It's 4 Florida games and 1 Georgia Tech. 22-11, 5-11 here, first half. Unfortunately, this tournament has eliminated a lot of the favorite teams so far. The Northwesterns, the Ohios, the Syracuse, Alabamas. They're all gone. So we're we get to watch more of Louisville play full. We get to watch more of Louisville playing full court defense. Three seconds on the shot clock and somehow got that to go in. What play was that? Georgia Tech got caught with their hand in the cookie jar and just... Arizona State had enough strength to get the ball in the hoop. So 3-point play cuts the lead down to 6, 20-14. A little over halfway done here in the first half. Trap in the corner. Ball gets turned over, 2-on-1. Ooh. Off the rim a couple times and drops. So Arizona State making a little bit of a run here. Passed it back to outside. Got to respect Georgia Tech's three-point shooting. He's dangerously close to the inbound line, or to the baseline, excuse me. Able to move inside, up the floor just a smidge to give himself enough room to jam it on home. 22-16 now. Arizona State really clearing that paint and trying to give their players enough room to make a move on the outside and just give them a free and clear lane to get to the hole. Georgia Tech fouled again, so Arizona State will shoot 2, going 1-4-2 from the line. I didn't read it exactly. I believe it's 14 fouls on the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Kind of trapped in that corner again. That time it's a really easy lane for Georgia Tech to get an easy layup. Up 24-17. Football score. There it is. There it is. That's exactly what Arizona State wants to do. Push all the players out to the perimeter. Get one good move on a defender. And drive it easily to the hole. 2 quick passes inside. It's going to be blocked by Arizona State. One of the few times we see that play actually not work. Through the contact, no foul, no shot, or no basket, I shouldn't say. Shot was up, but it just didn't have enough on it. Surprisingly, that was not called a foul as Arizona State steals the ball away. 2-on-1 opportunity. That one is a foul. That is 16 fouls on Georgia Tech. Pardon me. As we'll more than likely see that player get subbed out. I believe it was number 2. No, point guard number 0. I don't know if that's who got the foul or if that's somebody else or if they're dealing with foul trouble, which I would assume they are because they have 16 fouls already in this first half. There's still 3 minutes to go. Nice move down the lane for Georgia Tech. And an easy 2 puts it at 26-21. Shot up and good. Arizona State and Georgia Tech seem to be attacking each other very similarly. Georgia Tech's more willing to put players in the paint, offensive players in the paint like that. But it seems like they're at their best when both teams are at their best when they are trying to get a play on the line, a little screen there, nice defensive recovery. And just trying to give their speedy players an opportunity at an easy layup. Got a guy wide open in the corner. That's a 2, short though, so it doesn't really matter if it is a 2 or not. Arizona State, again, kind of clearing out that middle area, out of bounds. Arizona State. Georgia Tech stripped the ball, but nothing doing there. Ooh, nice little float pass inside is intercepted by Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech just takes it coast to coast, splits a bunch of defenders and able to pop it up and in. Nice block by Georgia Tech, down low, out of bounds. Georgia Tech ball. Arizona State went to go get it. And they touched the ball last, even though it was clearly off Georgia Tech. Took about 7 seconds to get that across the line. There's a 3 for Georgia Tech, and they'll splash it home. 31-23. Giving themselves a little breathing room here. Georgia Tech thought, you know what, fuck it. We're going to block the shot. We're going to put that in the back of their head. I will take a goaltend. I don't care. Yellow Jackets with under a minute to go here. Quick passes inside, and that's jammed home. That's usually the result you see. Successful basket on the offensive end. Rare to see the block that Arizona State had earlier. And we don't have a repeat of the weird play that we saw in yesterday's game where somebody recovered the ball and then just sat there behind the half court and was like, well, that's a 10-second violation. Double bounce off that left iron. Drops. Georgia Tech up 10. Under 30 seconds to go here. One of our chat members must be breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief. Obviously still plenty of time. But Arizona State hasn't really shown that they've been able to stop Georgia Tech consistently. They've been playing well offensively. The 3 is a little too strong. Out of bounds, going to be Georgia Tech ball. Could have been Georgia Tech ball anyway. Arizona State with the immediate steal. They'll get the final shot of the half. It's short. 2 final shots at the half, and it will remain a 35-25 game. Georgia Tech took the shot anyway, even though the buzzer had clearly gone off. Arizona State getting the first possession of the second half. Come on, Georgia Tech. I want to jam to Buck Bumble. Right about now, it's time to rock with the Biggity Buck Bumble. 35-27. Arizona State comes out, scores 2. Georgia Tech working for a 3. They get it. So it was 10, then 8, now 11. We'll look up YouTube real quick. Theme? Oh, 10-hour version of it, huh? Save to a playlist. Create a new one. To name. Georgia Tech. Yeah. So save that one. And splashes that one home, 38-33. Georgia Tech got a... So how do I look at this? Show more. I don't know how this works. There we go. There we go. All right, 40-33. Let's get our heads back in the game. Gotta get the Buck Bumbles ready to roll here. (40-35) now. Arizona State working with a little bit of a full court defense here. Kind of that half-assed one we've seen a couple of teams use. It's one-on-one, just trying to slow them down a little bit. Does still leave them vulnerable on the offensive end, or the defensive end, I should say, in the half court, I feel, personally. And especially against a team like Georgia Tech, or even like a team like Arizona State that likes to run players to the perimeter and make moves to go for open lanes. I don't know. I feel like it puts you in a not great position, because I feel like with these teams' specialty, you're playing right into it. You're playing into the defense is already going to be kind of stretched on the back end anyway, and now you're just making lanes that they're already able to exploit more exploitable. But hey, I'm not a coach of a digital college mascot team, so what the hell do I know? What I do know is that it is a 6-point deficit with 7:17 remaining here in the second half. Winner's going to have to go on the road and face the winner of the next game, who I clearly know and don't have to look at all for who it is. Temple or Auburn. Tigers versus Owls coming up next. So 44-38, 6-point game. Able to get that hook shot up and good. And just like that, they're really easily able to break the defense. It's not providing much resistance, allowing them to run a very easy look at a 3. If I'm Arizona State, I want to switch out of that. You're not getting turnovers, you're not getting 10-second violations, you're not even really getting close to either of those two. You're just making it easy for Georgia Tech to run their defense. Almost a 5-second violation. Will float pass inside. Tried to go for the steal. Got caught a little bit. It'll be an easy 2 for ASU. They'll continue to work with this full courtness. Kinda. Pump fakes the 3. Pass inside. Up is a little strong, maybe? Not exactly sure what portion of the rim that went off. It was either too strong on the right rim or too just a little short off the left iron. (47-44). Passing it around here, running the screen. That's an open look at a 3. Georgia Tech doing a good job of not letting Arizona State get too close. Maintaining this 6-point lead pretty consistently. Arizona State, to be fair, on the other hand, isn't letting Georgia Tech just blow them out here in the second half. That shot, a couple of them just a little bit short. Try to get the putback, but just nothing doing there. Got a guy open for a three. Now he'll drive the lane instead. A little too strong off that right portion of the rim. I'm surprised they didn't, due to how good they've been, surprised they didn't take a three-pointer there. Arizona State will take a three and cut the lead down 2-3. So we enter into the final quarter of the game. 4:39 remaining, second half. Been a good one. Georgia Tech's been in control for the large majority of this game. I guess large majority would probably be redundant. But Arizona State's done a good job of sticking around, not letting it let the lead get too big. Or the deficit get too big, I should say. We've had a competitive game here in the second half. Hopefully we'll have a good finish. I feel like I say that every game. Of course, when you have 8 games where most of them are bad on a previous part, you go, oh boy. Hopefully this is the one that's a top 10, top 5 finish. Shot's just a little bit short. Arizona State can tie here. They'll have made up a 10-point deficit. It was 35-25 at half. Buck Bumble just let that one go. 52-51. Oh my goodness, stolen away by Sparky there. Arizona State can get the lead. It won't be their first lead of the game, but it'll be the first lead that they have had in a long time. Just kidding. Buck Bumble makes sure that doesn't happen. Strong pass up the court. Not an opportunity for a three-point play, but they'll still go to the line to shoot 2. First foul on Arizona State as a team here in the second half. Off the right iron, no good, but the putback is good. So a three-point play it ends up becoming. Was 52-51, now 55-51. Arizona State's just got to make sure they keep that door open. Give themselves an opportunity to do the whole fouling situation or just catch Georgia Tech in a little bit of a lull. It only takes, 3 good shots, 2 good shots to get a lead here. That play is sadly predictable. A lot of time wasted for Arizona State. Still come away with 2 points. That was a good defensive recovery. That looked like it was going to be pretty easy to kick it back out to the corner 3. Back out to the 3-point line, pump fake. Nothing doing. Doesn't get the defender to go. It's going to be a 5-second violation. Oh, Georgia Tech. If you're Arizona State, this is exactly what you want. You get a good bucket on offense. You get Georgia Tech to make a mistake. And you have an opportunity to tie or take the lead, depending on what you want to do. If it's been Arizona State that's played for most of this game, they will just go for the tie. They have made some threes, but they typically like to clear the lane out and run down that way. Stolen away, but unfortunately, he dove out of bounds. He was able to get the ball loose. Unfortunately, that does count as a turnover, which means that if the ball was just loose, the shot clock most likely wouldn't have reset. But because it was in the possession of Georgia Tech, the shot clock does reset because it went out of bounds. Change of possession. 1:41 second half, tie game, 55-55. Georgia Tech's been in a tight game before. They had a wonderful finish in the first half, or first round, excuse me. Oh, too strong off that left iron. Georgia Tech go to the line, shoot 2. First free throw is good. Second free throw is good as well. So 57-55, a 2-point game here. Georgia Tech going to work with a little bit of a full court press here. See if they can get Arizona State to make a turnover, and they do, or make a mistake, excuse me, and they do. Turning the ball over with a minute 20 to go. And unfortunately, Arizona State has gotten stuck in the opposite position that they had a little bit ago, where they just kind of get locked up right on the line like they are. And for whatever reason, the game just doesn't really know what to do. It doesn't call a 5-second violation on anybody. It just runs the clock. And at 3 seconds, we'll see if Georgia Tech can make it 2, 3, gather, shoot, short. Wow, one of the few times that doesn't work in the favor of the offensive player. It's going to be, I swore that was going to be an easy 2, just too strong. It's going to go up, no good. Georgia Tech shooting 2 from the line here. Front end is no good. Because, of course, they can't make it easy on themselves, can they? Rattles around. Arizona State will take a timeout. 36.9 seconds remaining. It is a 3-point Yellow Jacket lead. Arizona State's been good from 3. Stolen or stripped away. Loose ball recovered by Arizona State. There is a shot clock. There's only about a 1.5 second difference or so. Maybe a little more. If you're Arizona State, you don't really need... All right. Okay. Defensive foul. That's foul number 4. Arizona State's been good from 3 here in the second half. 16 fouls. 1-point game, by the way. But I guess if you're going to move it between a 1-point deficit and a 3-point deficit, you really only need 1 3. Oh no. 58-57. That was such a bad free throw miss. They're going to throw it down the court. Under 10 seconds. They just moved out of the way. Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech. They might end up with 2 top 5 best games. They just threw the ball away. They might not have given themselves enough time here. Georgia Tech needs a turnover. They have so many fouls to get. Oh, Georgia Tech is going to go down by 1. I don't think they have enough time. Five. There's 3.9 seconds remaining. Okay, 3.1. (59-58). Arizona State missed the free throw. Georgia Tech's got to go. That was an excellent look at a 3. Arizona State moves on. They erase a 10-point deficit in the second half to take a 1-point win over Georgia Tech. Wow. Arizona State still alive. And unfortunately, the Buck Bumble dream is dead. We'll try it again next time. I can't believe it. I can't believe what I just watched. Just, wow. Wow. That was a very important game. We'll find out how damaging that was after Temple and Auburn. Temple. Auburn. Nice and easy to get to. So here we go. Owls, Tigers. Winner has to face the Sun Devils. we are going to Beard Eves Memorial Coliseum, Auburn, Alabama. All-American, 10 minutes, all that good stuff. Here we go. Game number 4 of the day. We'll have this game, we'll have a little bit of a break, and then we'll get the rest of them done. We're looking real good on time, which is nice, considering that we're right at an hour and a half-ish in this video, maybe like an hour 25 minutes. Swinging it out wide. Nice 3 for Temple. I don't know if we've visited the Auburn Tigers before. Nice block there by the Owls. This court looks new. Either we haven't been here or it was one of the like very first games in the tournament. But I feel like I recognize most of the courts. Auburn with a nice fast break opportunity. Too strong off the right iron and no good. So the Owls remain up 3. Sliding around. That one's going to be flipped up and good. Points to his muscles. I forgot that the Owl's name was Hooter. Ouch. Sorry. Smack the desk with my hand. So Temple converting the 3-point play, now up 6-0. 2 quick passes inside. Auburn will jam it home. As the battle of the faceless animals continues. Auburn doesn't even have a number. They just have the most plain shirt in the world. What if we put a shirt on the Tiger? Okay, what do you suggest? Well, it's plain, and it has the blue, but not very much of it. Okay, it sounds kind of boring. Do you have anything that might spice it up, might make it stand out, stick out a little more? It just says Auburn across the front. No numbers, no names, no nothing, just Auburn. Someone went and put a stamp of approval on it. Like, I don't care. Eight to 4, ball stripped away. Auburn comes away with a turnover. This is a very easy fast break for the Tigers. They miss it. Oh my goodness. The Tigers a little too strong coming out of the gates here. A little excited about being in the round of 32, looking for a Sweet 16 berth. I have my stats in front of me, so I don't know how far Auburn's made it in the past. But that one stolen away, but dove out of bounds. So that'll be kind of the same as the end of that previous game. So Auburn just said, you know what? We had the turnover the first time. We'll get it a second time as well. I was going to mention that the shot clock reset, but then Auburn stole the ball before I could even get to that. So thank you, Tigers. I really appreciate it. It's going to be a foul. Almost able to get the ball in through the contact. Shot is off. No good. So that's 2 points missing from the stripe, but is put back in, so it's all good anyway. Temple, for some reason, working with a very quick pace. Really wanted to be on the offensive side of the floor. They'll score 2 points, and it'll be 10-6. Shot is up and good. So Auburn with an acrobatic 2 cuts the lead down to 2. Is that a 3 for Temple? It doesn't really matter. It's defensively rebounded by the Tigers. In a weird situation there where no one was in the paint at all. All 5 of Temple's players, as he pulls back, waits for a little assistance, I should say. Of course, the next time down the floor, they negate my point by putting someone directly in the paint and passing to him and making it effective. But all the Temple Owls were just at the perimeter, at the 3-point line, and there just wasn't anything that they could do with a missed shot. Speaking of missed shots, Auburn puts that one back. And it is 12-10 in favor of the Owls. The Shoeless Owls. It's a quick pass inside. Fouled. Oh, excuse me. Excuse us, Auburn player, if you'd like to get out of the way. Front end of the 2 shots missed. Back end good. So 13-10 is our score here. The early stages of game number 4 for the, not to get to the halfway point here. When we're done with this part, we'll be down, or we'll be 75% done with the whole tournament. We'll do another 12.5% of the tournament tomorrow. As Temple makes some free throws, 15-10 now. Looks like they're going to have to deal with a little bit of foul trouble. Stripped away by Temple. Puts the defense in a little bit of a weird spot. Gives a very easy lane for Auburn to get down. Front end is, or the first shot, excuse me, is missed. Off the rim. Again, Temple working really just around the perimeter. They're cutting a guy down low. That's a deep 3. Swished home. So we'll see if that'll be interesting to watch in the Sweet 16 against an Arizona State team that is very good at doing that. Working against that kind of the way Temple's playing. There was a thought there somewhere, but I think it's wrong. Shot is no good. Temple gets the offensive rebound, can't get the putback to go. So they'll retain their 4-point lead. Could have gone up by 6. That was a pretty good look at a 2 there. Their defense just looks a little organized, Temple's does, as they give up a very easy 2 to the Tigers. We'll hand off up at the 3-point line, trying to drive that lane. So you might get a lot of plays like that with Arizona State taking on Temple, should Temple win this game. Of just the 2 teams that are just kind of holding players at the perimeter and then just driving speedsters through open lanes. Could see a lot of that. It'll be interesting to see that matchup. Of course, they have to win this game. They're currently up 4, getting a block there. It's out of bounds. Auburn will retain possession. There's a big 3 from Auburn that's no good. Owls recover the rebound. Pushing the floor. Trying to drive. None of the other Owls were going to come down to help in the paint, so it was a pretty open look for him to drive down there. Off the side, no good. So a few empty possessions for both teams here. Pass back out to the corner. There's a big 3 for the Owls. Nothing doing there. They're just going to lead to a foul. The 5th team foul on the Tigers. The free throw is no good. Both free throws no good. So Temple leaving points on the board there. Or leaving points on the floor, I should say. At the stripe. However you want to phrase that. Off the back iron, no good. Somehow ends up with a rebound there. And it's out of bounds. Temple almost did that weird thing where the player just directly runs out of bounds for no reason. Mid-range 2. Can't get the offensive. Jeez Louise. Temple ended up getting 3 shots at that. I was midway through my sentence of saying that Temple can't get the offensive rebound because they don't have anybody down in the paint. But Auburn missed it, and they were able to get a shot off, but Auburn was able to block it. And then, as we've seen so frequently in this tournament, we see the offensive team recover the loose ball and put it up for points. So rotating between a 4-point lead and a 6-point lead. Temple's taking a 3, pushing it out to 7, 25-18. Tigers not out of this game by any stretch, but they're really only matching what Temple does. They're not making any dents in it. Empty possessions are being responded to by empty possessions. Literally the perfect example is right there. Both teams missed. Auburn unable to cut into the lead. Temple unable to extend their lead. And then they get hot, and then it just moves between 4 points and 6 points. So kind of a weird game so far. 25-19. It'll probably be code yellow sock. But it's not the code that we're concerned with. We want a 23-19 game. Pass, shoot. That 3 is up and good. So lead back up to 7. Two quick passes inside, up over the Temple defender. Owl, I could say. Drops in. And it's a 5-point game. The Owls working with their inside game as well, pulling it back outside. Finally kind of putting someone down, at least in the paint area. They have a lot of Owls out at the 3-point line as they take a shot. It's a step inside. Auburn getting a good opportunity to run. Shot is short, no good. So again, empty possession matched by empty possession. It's a good opportunity for the Tigers to cut it down to a 1-score game. Mid-shot pass. Good call. Finds a open look for a 3. And that will make it an 8-point game here, as Temple has controlled most of this first half. We'll float pass over to the left side. Pass into the paint. Into a double team. Somehow got that through 2 defenders' hands. And Temple leads by 6 with 43 to go. 43 seconds to go, I should say. Make that clear. There's a nice pass inside. Looked like it might have been a little too strong, but it was actually the perfect touch to get that off the left rim and in. Back up to 8. Quick passes inside. And Auburn unable to convert there. Temple can hold here for the final shot. We'll see if they do. They sure don't, and instead they take a very contested, ugly-looking little layup there. Backing out here. Auburn working around the 3-point line. There's a deep 3 for Auburn off the right iron, no good. I don't think anybody is going to get credit with a rebound there. So it'll be a 32-24 lead for the Temple Owls. Heading on in here to the second half. Winner gets the pleasure of playing the comeback Sun Devils, who are raised a 10-point deficit in the second half to beat Georgia Tech. We'll see if Auburn has any magic in their bag. I don't know. God, those feet are ugly. So bad. The Owl hurts his shoulder. First free throw isn't good. So we'll go out. The lead will extend to 10, 34-24. There's a jam home by the Temple Owls. Opening minute, second half. See if Temple does anything more in the interior. They had somebody down there and they got cleared out. Ran right into a double team by the Tigers and that got stripped and stolen. See if the Tigers can take advantage of that weird kind of play happening. We might be trapped here for 20 seconds. Good time to take a break. Or take a drink, get a drink. I'm going to take a little sip of dew here. You have 12 seconds. Take a lap around the house. Get some steps in. Walk your dog. Shocking how consistently effective that is. Shot short, no good. And Auburn, either that was a bad pass or just walked out of bounds. It was a little hard to tell with the way the camera was moving, but doesn't matter. Temple doesn't feel any sort of pain from the turnover. And if you're the Tigers, you're frustrated because you got a good play, you had a nice turnover. And then you immediately turn the ball back over, and again you're doing that thing where you're just matching the possessions. You're scoring when they score, but you're not scoring when they're not scoring. You're moving it between a 6-point and 8-point deficit. Which is not good if you're the Tigers fan. However, I did compliment Arizona State for making sure that they didn't let the deficit get too big and they remained competitive in the game. So I should be extending that to Auburn as well. Even though it's rotating between a 6-point and 8-point deficit, they're still in the game. They still obviously have plenty of time. They need one good run. That was what Arizona State was able to get. That definitely is helpful, getting 2 shots from the line. How much, by the way, not that it really matters, but how much is Buck Bumble? Free throw is good. So it is 38-33 now. Lead was 10, now down to 3. Or 5, excuse me. Now back up into 7. Buck. Lead back down to 5. Somebody made such a loud noise outside. Turnover for Auburn. 1-on-1 here. Had a really good opportunity to pass to a teammate, but the teammate just trailed off. Didn't do anything. $20. Oh, God. It's like $60 complete. Yikes. 40-37. So the lead is down to 3. I looked away to check the price of a video game, and all of a sudden the game got competitive. Whoops. Temple. The ball out towards the top of the key. They're actually working a player down low, and he lost control and just stepped out of bounds. Auburn can tie here. It was what, 35-25? They don't get anything. Oh, Auburn, no. That's not what you want. You're going to kick it out to the guy for 3? No, you're going to drive it inside through a highly contested 2. A lot of contact. No foul called, no shot. Again, wide open guy in the corner. Not sure why you're not going there. And Auburn, again, 2 decent defensive possessions and nothing on the offensive side to cut into this lead. 3 good defensive possessions. That was even a 2-shot opportunity for the Owls. 2 quick passes inside, and yet again it's a missed shot. Yet again it's a missed shot. 2 opportunities. My goodness, the Tigers do not want to win this game. They're lulling when the Temple Owls are lulling, and it's just a mess. Try and drive down the lane. Again, another highly contested 2. Excellent block there. That's, what, 4 or 5 excellent possessions defensively for Auburn. They have nothing to show for it as far as the point spread is concerned. There they go. Finally. The lead's cut down to 1. Temple getting blocked again. Excellent defense. It was poor offense. That was a bad pass. That was not a great pass. Didn't really harm anything considering that it's still a 1-point game, but not what you're looking for. Temple, you get a nice steal, a timely steal. You don't want to give up that lead. It's dwindled all the way down to 1. Was 10 at one point early in this second half. The Tigers have done an excellent job of keeping that door open, making sure that they're competitive. That shot's a little too strong. Off the rim, out of bounds. So we'll check the time here. 3:48, second half. 42-39. Temple Owls having a little bit of a sluggish second half. That three-pointer will definitely help. Put it out to a 6-point lead. That's a three for Auburn. Too strong off the right iron, but the putback is jammed in perfectly for a 3-point game. Temple sliding a player around. It's going to be a defensive foul. Looks like a reach in. Point guard number 11. I don't know how many personal fouls he had, but he did get subbed immediately. It's going to be the third team foul, and it's going to be a foul on Auburn. So only a 3-point game. To the first free throw was missed. The second one is missed as well. Defensive rebound. Auburn. 3-point gives them the tie. 2-point cuts it back down to 1. They can't get anything. That's the story of this game. Auburn's defense has given them enough opportunities to take a lead, and they just can't get it. I mean, how many shots has Auburn had right at the rim off a turnover or an empty possession on the Temple side of things that just they can't get down? Still, a 5-point deficit is not impossible to overcome, and that definitely helps. It definitely goes back to what I've been talking about throughout the majority of this game is Auburn is only making it when Temple's making it. They're not making it when Temple's not making it. They can't make inroads into this lead. But like I was saying earlier as well, making sure that the deficit is not too bad as we get down here into crunch time. We got a guy maybe coming up on the left. No. Stopped out of the 3-point line. It's going to be out of bounds. Auburn ball. That's a very lucky play for the Auburn defense. Temple doesn't really seem to drive many of their players into the paint, even when it's like a pretty defensive foul. Even when it's understandable that it should happen, like the player should have run into the paint on the offensive end for Temple on a fast break. I don't know why they're not doing that. Instead, he peeled off to the 3-point line as Auburn misses both free throws from the line, but still gets an offensive rebound. But instead, that allowed the defense to recover, force an ineffective shot. Temple's not making Auburn have to pick who to defend. They're giving them the answer. Back outside. 1:21 remaining here, second half. Hopefully we have a fantastic finish again. Auburn with a nice steal there. Temple defended the correct person. The Auburn Tiger made the incorrect decision. He was going to the right, and the defender broke his way, and there was a wide open Tiger on the other side. That should have been an easy 2. 20 seconds on the shot clock would give them about 35. It's only a 1-possession game. There's no reason to put them on the line or really even make it close. Just hold. Do not foul. You're under 10 seconds. For the love of God, Auburn, I will scream. Excellent defense. That's exactly what you want. You have all kinds of time here. You have 30 seconds. You don't even really need a 3. You can take a 2, which is what they do. You have to make it, though. They do on the second try. Now, okay. I don't know if I agree with that exact decision. Just, I would have tried to force a turnover, because even then, you take 10 seconds off of about 25 seconds, 24. That still gives you enough time. I mean, best case scenario, you force a turnover. However, Temple has been really bad from the line. Real bad. And Temple might be heading for the same kind of result that Georgia Tech had. 14 seconds here. Auburn driving it inside. Quick pass. The shot's off the left iron. No good. Still a chance. It's not done yet. Temple's been really bad from the free throw line. That one's good. And even if they're good from the free throw line, it's still only 2 points. They have an opportunity for 3. That second one's no good. Auburn can play for a tie here. Play for a tie, or they can just go all out for the win. 6.4 remaining. Don't throw it all the way down the court. There's no reason for you to do this. 3 at the buzzer is no good. Temple survives into the second round. Third round, excuse me, into the Sweet 16 by 2 points. My goodness. So let's get this score logged in. 49-47, confirmed that the winner is indeed Temple. And we'll head to Temple to watch them take on Arizona. Almost had a couple of 10-point comeback teams playing against each other. Instead, we only have one surviving. A very close game. Very good game. As we have Southern Mississippi coming on up. Southern Mississippi. There they are. And they will be taking on the Florida Gators. That'll come up right after a quick break. But before we take a quick break, let's update you on the standings in the bracket tournament. It is really coming down to being finalized for a lot of people, myself included. I might actually be done. Redneck Girl has taken the lead. They have 25 points. They have a potential of 133. This next game is a champion pick. So if Florida loses to Southern Mississippi, could get interesting. Or if Florida continues to win, Redneck Girl will just run away with it. The Beeb, that means that the Beeb has slipped into second with 22. They only have a score potential of 34. Me, I am in third. I have 18. I can only score 18. I am done. It's a guessing game. Moves into fourth place with a score of 17 points. They have a potential of 27. And then, Blind Guess is brought to you by Harper. Took a big loss with the Georgia Tech loss. They have 15 points with a 17-point score potential. So they only have one more game, I believe, that they can get any points from. Oh, well, big L for me. Still looking forward to watching the rest. Hey, I'm glad you're enjoying watching it. Thank you for watching it and enjoying it. I am going to take a quick break, as it's been a couple of hours. So get up, walk around, stretch. I'll leave you with some Wild Ones on Audio Tree Live. And we'll be back in just a few minutes with the last 4 games, the final 4 tickets to the Sweet 16 getting punched, coming right up. Thanks for watching. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, everybody, to September Mascot Madness 2, Part 6, Round of 32, Part 2. We are punching 4 more tickets to the Sweet 16. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. For some reason, I said that, and I was like, that is not right. But it is. It's correct. The numbers make sense. It works. I was like, how can I punch 4 more tickets if there are only 8 games? Well, Sean, how many participants are in the games? Like 2? Okay, so then if there are 8 games, and then there are 2 teams per games, what's 8 times 2? 16. 16, that's the number. Okay, so if we have 4 more games to play, how many tickets are we punching? We're punching 4 more tickets, you know? Just punch 4 of them. That makes sense, right? And the final 4 games that we have today will be Southern Mississippi taking on the Florida Gators. Gators, big game here for them. They are a championship pick. So we head on down to Gainesville, All-American. 10-minute halves. And we'll just get right into it. We've seen a lot of demolition of the brackets. The brackets might be pretty toast after this game. We'll have to see what happens. And this could be the situation where somebody just gets one pick that goes far enough to give them enough of a lead to let everybody else's brackets be finished. Mine was finished very early. I cannot get any more points. I am locked into my 18. I believe that I will finish at least 4th as Florida scores a 3. Because I think with my 18 points possible, I think there's somebody that only can score a 17. So, locked in 4th. There we go. Southern Mississippi, make it a nice mid-range 2. Southern Mississippi coming off a victory over Alabama. Heavy, popular favorite in this one. Southern Mississippi with a nice steal there. As we have the 0-0 versus the single letter. Southern Mississippi knocking down a 2-point shot, 4-3 here. Is that like kind of a blue sky I see? No, just kidding. It's not. It's not. It's smoky as hell here in the Pacific Northwest. Oh my goodness. Okay, I was a little confused there for a second. That's going to be a defensive foul. Both of the players went for like the same animation, and I was like, is that a steal or is that a lob? I wasn't 100% sure what was going on because I was looking out the window. All excellent commentators make sure to look away from the game that they're supposed to be commentating. They point out things like, wow, look at that GameStop bag. I sure wonder what's in it. Hopefully it wasn't a stupid purchase that you made, Sean, in the past. Because it was on clearance and you thought, well, maybe I'll open it because that'd be funny. And then you elected not to do that. Maybe. Or it could be something that I actually will use. I don't know. Who knows? Do I know what's in the bag? No, I don't. Boy, it's going to be fun to go through a bunch of shit. Alright, that's a foul. I don't know where I'm going. So we'll just move on. Free throw. Number 1 is good. We can get a tie game right here. Finish your first water there, buddy. Second shot is up and good. It was a tie game there for a moment as Florida comes on down the floor. Hope everyone's having a good Saturday evening. Thanks for spending some of your time with me. I appreciate it. That's another foul by Florida. That's the second foul on that player in consecutive possessions, or in as many possessions. That's 2 team fouls as well. Second shot up and good. Got to get this video up tonight, so it'll be live tomorrow on YouTube. YouTube is doing well as well. Getting some good views and watch time on that, so thank you for that. If you're watching on YouTube, I appreciate it. Appreciate any way you watch or interact. All good. Nice kick out for a 3 there. And that is a miss. So, Florida leads by 3. Southern Mississippi let that go way too easily. We have the Golden Eagles. Oh, speaking of golden, I was curious. It doesn't have anything to do with the actual term golden. Well, I thought of the Golden Hurricanes, and I thought, oh, that's right, I was going to look up the Tulane football mascot. Oh, that's horrifying. Oh, that's awful. It's a bird. Okay. So, long story short, as I believe I heard 3 in my headphones. 13 foul on Florida. Some sloppy play here for both the Gators and the Golden Eagles. So one of the football games I was watching today was the Tulane football team. I don't remember what their the Tulane Green Wave, and they have an incredible helmet. It's like blue and green, and it looks very nice. But I was curious as to what the mascot was, and it's a pelican named Riptide, and it's not that interesting. But they have some of the best helmets in college football. They have like a white helmet with a green, like a literal green wave on it, and they have like this incredible shade of blue, and the green wave is a fantastic shade of green, and it just looks really good. And so I was like, well, I wonder what the mascot is. And then as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, I've looked this up before, and it's so forgettable that I forgot that I looked it up. But it was also kind of trying to figure out, like, how could you mod mascot costumes into like NBA 2K20? You know what I mean? I'm sure there's no one doing that. Go ahead and turn the light on. See, it's getting a little dark in here. 21-12 here. I'm not really missing a whole lot. Looking up poorly made mascots. (21-12). Shot no good off the left iron. So Southern Mississippi struggling a little bit from the field. Florida looking really good, scoring 21 points in the first quarter of the game. Possessions like that don't really help. I was waiting for one of those to go in to say possessions like that sure help when you're able to score. Even though it takes multiple opportunities, you get through some contact. Off that right iron again, they're trying the three. It's just not working for them. Working the outside. That was a nice play inside. Nice little quick pass in there to get an easy bucket out of bounds. Southern Mississippi, Florida able to get the ball away from Southern Mississippi able to get the ball away from Florida, but not able to do anything. Flip that. I don't know what's happening. Just ignore it. I'm watching the game. I'm trying to think about how would you be able to mod that? Because if you could mod it, you could do like a cool like custom court for the whole thing. It's a really cool idea. You could get sweet new mascots in there. Make everybody like a 99 at their position, and just get crazy with it, you know? Get crazy. All right, USM, they're down 8, excuse me. Florida, nice move around the Golden Eagle defender there. Not a whole lot of resistance. That was an easy bucket. Easy bucket. Under 4 to go, first half. We've had some good games today. There's a nice 3-point shot up, but no good. I think we have at least 3 contenders for the 5 best games. 2 of them involve Georgia Tech, which is weird. There's a shot that is up and good. So trading 2s here. Back up to a 10-point lead. There's a 3 from USM. That'll cut the lead down to 7. 3:20. Let's see what Southern Mississippi does over the next 3 minutes or so. See if they can get this tie game, 1-possession game, something like that, as they go into halftime. There's a nice swat there by the Golden Eagles. Working them around for the 3-point line. They'll take another 3, and they'll splash that one home right down to a 4-point game. Back-to-back 3s for Southern Mississippi. I do really like the Gators court. Blue and orange is a nice color combination. It is a little cluttered. There's a lot of logos and stuff on it. Just in case you forgot where you were. It's like, oh, the Gators, that's right. And then you walk up a little bit, and you're like, where am I? Oh, Florida, that's right. I forgot. What team are we watching? And there's 3 Gator logos on there, and you're like, well, I can't help you if you can't remember what team it is at this point. (30-23), 7-point game. They're trying to make it a 4-point game. 3 is off the right iron, no good. Pass forward there for Southern Mississippi, trying to get out on a little bit of a break. Slow down, Sean. The words don't all have to come out at once, or it's just going to be gobbledygook. Florida with a good defensive job there. Not really there, but it's hard to defend the 2 quick passes. You get it in so quick, the defender doesn't always have time to turn around. This would have been right around the time Florida had the back-to-back national championships. 04, 05, maybe 05, 06. believe Joakim Noah was on those teams. Pass back outside. Still a 7-point game. Pass in. There we go. Nice slam home. And it is 32 to 27. So all the numbers in the end, 72 to 23. We'll spin move to no one. Faked out that ghost that was defending him. Golden Eagles very nearly just walked it out of bounds. Like a couple of idiots. You can kick it out to a guy for 3, or you can get blocked. You chose to get blocked. Not the decision I would have picked. I would have thrown it to the guy who was wide open for a 3. But hey, look at him. He's just standing out there, just hanging out. 1 Golden Eagle versus 2 Gators. Who wins? In that instance, the 2 Gators won. And in that instance, the Gators won because they picked off the inbound pass. So a nice defensive play there by Florida. Another spin move. A little shoulder fake. I don't know exactly what you would call that. Fake to the right and then went around the other way. 2 quick passes inside. Nice slam home. Makes it a 7-point game. So they had it down to 4. It's gone back up to 7. They'll work with a 3 from Florida, and they'll tack on 3 more and make it a 10-point game entering halftime. 16 seconds. 39-29. Florida is rolling here on the offensive end. When you have 21 points at the 5-minute mark, 3 for Southern Mississippi is missed. Putback is no good. But the jam home, the final jam, is good. There's a 3-point. Oh my God, they just made that shot. They made that buzzer from the half court. I'm realizing I don't know what a pirate sounds like, so I can't talk much like one. Oh, they just say like "yar." Just be like a drunk Johnny Depp, and then you'll do it. Oh, so you have heard of me? Oh, he does this, and everyone's like, "Wow, look at this, his acting." Or Orlando Bloom. Yar, matey. You're walking the plank. I think of the Frying Dutchman, or the Flying Dutchman from SpongeBob. The Flying Dutchman or the Frying Dutchman? I thought it was the Frying Dutchman. Maybe there is a Frying Dutchman. Oh my goodness. Double blocks for the Golden Eagles. We don't have the ECU Pirates. Or the East Tennessee... I'm sorry. The East Tennessee State is in this game. There is an East Carolina that has a Pirate as well. Oh man, I wish I would have thought of that. Shot is up and no good. I absolutely would have, because I would have put them in there. Here's the thing. They're in. It's the Flying Dutchman. Yar. Because they both, I guess, maybe not. They should be in football. The NCAA football game. God, that would have been a good... Talk like a pirate day, and it's just 2 pirates playing football. That's a really dumb video. Yar, he threw it for a first down. He did. Off the left iron, no good. Bouncing it around. Drops home. There apparently is a game happening in front of me. We're at 8:17 remaining second half. Was an 11-point lead at the half after Florida nailed that half-court 3-pointer. That was at 42-31. As the shot is missed off the left iron. Florida giving up some points here. 45-38 now, so 7-point game. I think a lot of people would just use yar, though. Like, yar. Arr. He be. There's like a lot of bad talking, like a lot of bad grammar. Could you imagine being a grammatically correct pirate? Actually, should be saying you. You are. It's not he be. You are. Is this a mutiny I hear? And I'm like, no. It's just, trying to remove some of the stereotypes about pirates being dumb, sort of thing. Trying to help us. We haven't found treasure in months. I've had to read the dictionary for 6 weeks. Okay? Maybe instead of saying northeasternly, you just say northeast. Okay? Eliminate some of the confusion. 3 is up and good. So 47-38. We have a 9-point game here in the second half. Florida in control for most of this one. Southern Mississippi has done a good job at staying in the game. They've had trouble matching Florida's offensive output at times, which has led to the deficit that it is at now. They've also had trouble slowing Florida down, and that is almost case in point, except for Florida missed. The guy coming up on the right side, that's a nice easy pass. Offensive rebound, finally gets it up and goes in. So 1 for 2 on that possession for that particular Golden Eagle. Swinging it around to the 3-point line. 1-on-1, back outside. Trying to still work 1-on-1. They're just picking on that one defender. All the other players were on the opposite side of the court. Now it's kind of a big mess on the right side. Passing it back. Trying to split the defense a little bit and get something. Not a whole lot going on there. No defensive rebound makes it so Florida is able to get a second shot. And that one was very open. Working around the baseline. There's a 3 for Mississippi State. No, Southern Mississippi, excuse me. Mississippi State, I believe. I don't even know if Mississippi State plays in this tournament. Rolls off the back iron, no good. They'll throw it way forward. Turnover. Turnover. I said that very weirdly, and it threw me off. Turnover. Southern Mississippi falling apart here a little bit. They had it at 7, now it's 11. It's a 2-pointer, about as deep a 2 as you can get. And it's a 9-point game, 51-42. Florida's been much slower in the second half, or more inconsistent in the second half. They had 42 points through the first half. They had 21 points at the 5-minute mark in the first half. This time they have 11 points through about the halfway point of a half, the first 5 minutes or so. Southern Mississippi hasn't been doing much better. Stolen away by Florida there. Spin move off the left iron, no good. Shot is up and good. Go back to the line for one more. Push it to a 13-point lead. They do. 55-42. The Golden Eagles look like they will meet their end here. Unless some kind of wild and crazy run of points happens. That's not a great start. That's an even worse start. And that's an even worse start. 2 points, or 2 shots at pretty close range. 1 block. Not able to get the loose ball and return that to their offense. Sliding around. Stripped away. Actually good play by the defense. If you're Southern Mississippi, you got to make up 8 points, 7 points. Somewhere in there. A couple 3s and a 2. 4 good defensive possessions. And maybe don't do that. Step 1, Southern Mississippi, if I may give a piece of advice. Don't step out of bounds like a jabroni, you know? Strip the ball away. Florida able to recover. No one really in the lane here. 1-on-1. Pass it back across the court. Still no one really in the paint. Just trying to get around the one defender, and it's pretty clear. Southern Mississippi doing an excellent job collapsing, stripping the ball away. Push the ball up to the left side. It's what they do. Back to the right. Shot is up and good. So it's now down to 11. 55-44, 3:30. Second half. I say you got to do this in the next 2 minutes. Cut this lead down to 5. 2 threes, 3 good defensive possessions. That's not a good defensive possession because you gave up a pretty easy basket. Lead back up to 13. See if the Golden Eagles here have anything left in their tank. Fadeaway 2 isn't going to work. Fall away 2, however you would like to phrase that. He was moving away from the basket. Needed to put a little more mustard on it. Just a little bit. Passing around the outside. Nice move by the Florida defender. Excellent recovery by the Golden Eagle of Southern Mississippi to get the block. Unfortunately, they're not able to get the loose ball. Leads to a foul and an injury on a Florida player. I missed the zoom in. Florida hasn't been great from the free throw line today. As evidenced there by going 0 for 2. I'll make a substitution and call a timeout. So they'll have 5 more remaining through the rest of this game. It remains a 13-point deficit. Florida with a good opportunity to really put this game away. Southern Mississippi's really going to need to work quickly here. Misses aren't going to help. Misses aren't going to help. I just said it. I didn't really need to say it again, but I chose to remind you that they aren't going to help. Working around the outside. Still nobody really in the paint. They have one guy who's kind of in the vicinity-ish, but he doesn't really seem like he wants to be there. Maybe setting up a screen there. Hard to tell just where the arms are. Spin move inside, passing it back out. Off the right iron, no good. Defensive rebound. We have a little bit of this the situation we had with who played Temple. God, I don't know why. My brain is just a farty poop today. A little bit of the issue that Auburn had, where they were really only scoring when Temple was scoring, and they weren't scoring when Temple wasn't scoring, and so that lead maintained, or stayed the same, I should say, for the most part. They did get close towards the end, and unfortunately Southern Mississippi is just too far behind at this point with 91 seconds remaining. They're down 15. Deep three, no good off the left iron. Rebound, put back, no good off the left iron. That one's finally good. But if it's taking you 3 shots to get 2 points, that is not going to be effective or efficient. And you're really running out of time. There's a 3 for Florida. And that putback kind of magnetized to his hands. That looked real weird. Looked real weird. But that is all right. It's all right because it wasn't the deciding points of a game. Just 2 extra points for the Florida Gators, who didn't score quite as many points as they did in the first half. But that is okay. So we'll look at a 46-61 at the moment. Not submitting the score, of course. They have these nifty little arrows. You can adjust it at will. Almost stripped away by Southern Mississippi. Florida really taking a lot of time off the shot clock. They really don't want to shoot the ball. They don't need to shoot the ball. Take a 3 off the back iron, no good. So Mississippi pushes the ball forward for some reason. Like they still have a chance. A lot of Florida defenders in the area. 13 seconds remaining. It's blocked by Florida. That should do it. I doubt we'll see them really push the floor here. 61-46. The winner is Florida. Submitted the score before the game was even done. It was so well in hand. 61-46. And we'll just move right on here. UCLA taking on Dayton. The Dayton Flyers took out the Gonzaga Bulldogs in the first round, which is surprising. Gonzaga usually does pretty well. But Dayton got the best of them this time, the UCLA Bruins. We are going to Dayton. This doofus is still in the... Alright, hang on. We gotta redo the thumbnail picture. Perfect. This is it. This is the thumbnail game, you know what I mean? EA Sports, it's in the game. EA Sports, it's in the game. There's a new video game. Alright. What am I doing? I feel like I've goofed myself up here. Oh, that's not even the right song. I just assumed it was. What? Hello, Sean? What are you doing? UCLA, take it on Dayton. Game number 6. Nope. 7? 6? Oh my god, Sean. 6, yeah, game number 6. Trust yourself, buddy. You can do it. You can commentate games. Take 2. Alright, we have UCLA taking on Dayton in here in game number 6. UCLA, the Bruins, Dayton, the Flyers. I can't believe this doofus is still in the game. So go ahead and hang on. I'll give myself another thumbnail image just in case. Okay, there we go. I realized that the music thing might be in the way. We are going to almost half of everyone who fill out a bracket is done. Dang. Yeah. Yeah. That has happened the last couple of them, which is unfortunate. We are going to Dayton, Ohio to watch this game. 10 minutes, All-American, all that good stuff. And here we go. Got another hour and a half or so of the stream left, of the video left. All that good stuff. We're looking good on time. We're about 2 hours and 20 minutes into the recording. We have a little less than an hour and a half, so that's nice. Dayton, I believe we've been here once before. See if Dayton can continue their Cinderella story. Got the Bruins in the corner there. The weird foot mapping really showing because he was clearly stepped out of bounds, but just the way things look in the game is just a little off. Swinging it around. That's inside for a 2. Nothing doing for Dayton there. They have a defender backing up. Goes up to meet the offensive player. It's a little tough, but Dayton does get the points. They stepped out of bounds. All right, cool, great. This is off to an excellent start. 3 for UCLA, no good. Defensive rebound, Dayton. Sometimes you got to make sure your cape looks its best. And sometimes when you do that, you forget that you're not supposed to dribble the ball out of bounds. We've all done it. We've all played basketball in superhero costumes, and you know, you want that cape to fly, you want it to flow, you want it to look good. Stacy's not going to go out with a loser who has an ugly cape. Are you kidding me? Come on. You know Stacy only wants the finest capes around. Sometimes when you're a bear and you are thinking about, man, I want to eat that sweet-ass honey, you forget where you are on the court. Stacy's not going to date a loser who doesn't have honey. UCLA 6, Dayton 2. So UCLA switched to a full-court defense there. They got what they wanted out of it, which was a turnover and an easy basket. We'll switch off of it. We've seen the Washington Huskies use that as well. Very effective. It's just different enough to throw off the offense. Driving around the defender. Had a good look at a pretty easy 2 there. Just nothing doing. 6-2. Hopefully Dayton can keep this competitive. We've had some pretty good games here. The most recent game was probably the worst one we've had. But even when things have been a little out of whack and a little lopsided, we've had a couple of comebacks. One comeback, one almost comeback. Pushing it around the perimeter here. Side player around, looking for a long shot. There's a big 3, and it's splashed home to cut that 6-point lead in half. 6-5. UCLA Date. That's a shot that is up and good. He'll show off his muscles. Covered in honey. Winner gets to host Florida. Florida, high-flying, high-powered team that really didn't have much trouble dispatching Southern Mississippi. UCLA up 6. They'll work with that full-court defense again. This one's just a one-on-one. See if they can force a turnover or a 10-second violation. They do not. Took about 7 to get up the floor there. Shot is left a little short, and it just hits that rim and drops on the wrong side. UCLA driving in the driver's seat in this game. Working it outside, back inside. Flips it up, no good. Offensive rebound is put back authoritatively, and it is 13-5. So this is not a good start for Dayton. Kind of makes you wish that Gonzaga maybe had won, and there's a 3 for Dayton. I'll get that one home as well. Maybe that's what Dayton's power is. Getting just enough threes to keep them competitive in this game. Somebody's like locking a car, like doing that like beep 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 beep, but just hitting it so fast that it's one solid like rhythmic tone, like beep 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 beep. Like, oh, cool. I can't hear it clearly, but I can hear it faintly. I hear it though. There's a 3 for UCLA, no good. Got to get the putback. You got to get a rebound. Excuse me. If you're Dayton, you're only down 3. Get an opportunity to cut it to 1, maybe even tie it. But instead they give up an offensive rebound. That's off the left iron, and that, unfortunately, was not defensively rebounded. They do get the block, so it's not the worst scenario in the world, but when you have an offense leaving it on the rim like that, that makes it hard to get a dent in that lead. So the lead remains 5. Could have been as bad as 7. Could have been as good as 3. Shot blocked by UCLA. Recovered by Dayton and flipped up and in. Swing around the side. 3-pointer for UCLA. No good off the back iron. Dayton trying to muscle their way in. Get a defensive foul. Unfortunately, small forward number 1 got injured and looked like going to be a foot injury here. Free throw is up and good. Oh man, I love the drama. I love the drama zooms. Both shots up and good. So just when I kind of thought UCLA was going to start running away with it, Dayton's done a good job at sticking with it, keeping that door open, making sure that UCLA is not getting ahead by too many. That's not going to help. I mean, that was a really good offensive run to the basket there. Good hard foul, so at least it's worth it. They missed one of the free throws. They missed both of the free throws. All right, Dayton. Here you go. Take advantage of these missed free throws. Come away with some points. What do you say? Swing it around the outside, or just, float a pass into the middle, and it's just going to go ahead and get picked off. Slammed on home in UCLA. And UCLA, pardon me, steals it again. Gets their 3-point lead back. Now they can push it up to 5, 6 if they want to. Nice move inside. Instead, they'll just step out of bounds. So Dayton, you're doing a good job keeping it a one-possession game. You need to do that again. Make sure you maintain that it is a one-possession game. Back across. Only 5 seconds to get it across the court. That was a weird positioning where the Bruin defender, so I'll let him just go on in. The Bruin defender was like 2 steps ahead, of the Dayton offensive player when normally it's flipped. Dayton with a 2. Too strong off the right side. It's going to go out of bounds. Was 15-14. UCLA has gotten 4 points in a row. Dayton gave him way too much room. That is a collegiate shooter that you were just leaving wide open like that, huh? That's your plan? Shot missed. Put back blocked. Finally going to be a foul on the third shot attempt. That'll be a foul. Or, excuse me, an and one opportunity. Sorry, I was trying to go with that. But my brain farted. Shot is up and good, so that'll cut the lead down to 5. Dayton looks like they're going to work with a little bit of a full court press. It does nothing. It created one extra pass, and it led to a steal, I guess, so that's something. They'll whip it forward here. No reason to get too greedy too quickly. 2 quick fouls on center number 45. But you can't leave shots like that short. You got to get points on the stripe. Nice shot there. So it's down to a 4-point game. Center number 45 is going to come out of the game because of the 2 personal fouls. I probably spoke a little too soon. I don't know if he got 2 of those in a row really quickly or if he just had 2 in general. But no reason to get a 3rd foul for him, so he'll sit presumably for the rest of the half. Dayton, they let the lane clear. Got to kick it out. You can't. Oh, my goodness. Dayton's doing everything in their power to not tie this game. Dribble the ball with 1 second to go, and he just backed out of bounds. On the flip side, UCLA's not playing clean basketball here. Neither of these teams look great. Not that I expected them to look great. Maybe UCLA, but I didn't expect Dayton to really be in this position. They got off such a bad start early in this game. Feels like kind of a small miracle. They're only down by 2. Swinging a player out. Looking for the 3. Good defensive recovery there by the Dayton Flyers. Driving inside. Back out. Pushing him towards the baseline. Not a whole lot of room for him to operate. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Gets him up and makes the shot. Dayton almost ran it out of bounds. Fall away 2, doesn't do anything. Leaves it as a 4-point game. Fast break for UCLA. Pretty easy bucket there for them. And the Flyers are now down 6. Not a bad deficit, but not a great one when they're playing not great on offense. See if they maybe kick it out for a 3. No. They do. That was a well-contested 3. Defensive foul. That'll be something. There was information there that I was going to read. I didn't anticipate a substitution. Swinging them wide for a 3-pointer. And that is just too easy. Pass inside. Hard foul. 4th team foul on UCLA. Oh, off the right iron. No good. If they can get a 3-point play that way. The hard way to do it. Not the way you would ever advise anyone to try and get a 3-point play, but in this specific case it worked. Back outside. Working it around the perimeter. Sliding in, nice defensive block there by the University of Dayton, the Flyers, getting their hands on the ball there. It'll remain UCLA ball, I believe. Yes. 10.2 in the first half here, 29-23. Going to be out of bounds, so Dayton will get an opportunity here. Just kidding, they'll throw it away immediately. UCLA buries a 3 to push it to a 9-point game. Dayton Dayton got a really good look at a nice 2 there at the very end and just wasn't able to connect. Almost stolen away. A lot of Bruins on that side of the court. Flips it back outside. Spins. 2 falling to his right. Can't get it to go. Can't get the putback to go either. 32-23. UCLA really starting to flex their muscle here. Those shots right at the end of the half. I mean, that steal at the end of the half was really bad for Dayton. They got a really lucky break with UCLA just stepping out of bounds with about 10 seconds left, and instead of being able to try and get points and get a good look like they were able to do with even less time on the clock, there's a 3 from Dayton. It's going to be short. I don't think that's the guy they want taking threes. Just didn't look good from the get-go. But they were able to get a good look. UCLA falling to his left, can't get it. And just too strong. Imagine what you could do with a couple extra seconds and not, giving up a 3 right at the end of the half. UCLA up 13 now. It sure feels like we have seen Dayton's best run at this lead. In the second half will most likely be all Bruins. They can't hit anything. Shot is up and good. So 38-23 here. 8:05 remaining, second half. See if they can get any kind of points going here. Inside goaltending. That technically counts as points. That's not the way you want them because you didn't actually score them, but hey. Nice steal there by Dayton on the outside. Pass it off to the left or take it all the way in off the rim. No good. So still no field goals scored for Dayton. 1 free throw good and a goaltend. 2 free throws that are good. Dayton only down 11. UCLA hasn't done a good job at putting this game away. That would be an excellent example of them not putting this game away. When you're up 38-23 on a team that is not making field goals, they have 2 points from a foul and 2 points from you goaltending them. They can't get that to go. You really should be up more, honestly, UCLA. Nice slide pass there, and they can't hit anything either. So Dayton's got to take advantage of this. They're getting breaks from the Bruins. Just not doing anything with them. That's too strong off one side. That one finally drops. Took them 3 minutes into the second half, but they finally get a field goal from the floor. And too far for a 3 for the Bruins. Working it out around to the right, passing back outside. Ran into 2 defenders, not a whole lot of opportunity there. Drives inside. There's 3 Dayton defenders right in his face. Dayton doing a good job here. Making sure that the shot is at least contested. If you give up a 3 there, it's not that big of a deal. Oh, that was a little bit of a lob pass. You kind of expected a pick there. 1, don't you dare get a 5-second violation. Put a little shoulder into him. Get the ball dribbling. Get him moved. The Dayton Flyers not really doing a ton to help their teammate out. As we see 2 shots, 1 miss, 1 make. 38-31. Just sticking around. With the Dayton Flyers, you hope that you can get enough momentum going with the Bruins not hitting a whole lot. 3-pointer, that'll do some damage. Oh my goodness, what a block by UCLA, able to recover the loose ball. Well, they had it down to 7. Back up to 10, now back up to 12. Dayton can do anything over the next 2 minutes. Maybe it'll get interesting, but we also might just be looking at a blowout here, which is what happens every once in a while. No big deal. We haven't had nearly as many of these today as we had yesterday, which is great. Hard foul from UCLA, so go to the line to shoot 2. First free throw is good. Second free throw is good as well. So down to 10 points. I think if you're Dayton, I think you have to tie this game. I don't think you can do the like foul and try and like get 3 for 2 and work it that way. Offensive foul, that's helpful. Number 45 will come out. That was his 3rd personal in this game. I'm a little surprised they took him out. There's not a ton of time left. But hey, you know, it is what it is. They made the decision to pull him. Ends up being a block anyway, so not that big of a deal. Yeah, I think if you're Dayton though, I don't think you can try and get them to miss free throws and try and make 3s. Maybe once. Maybe if you get it to where it's like a 3-point game or something like that, and you can make it 2, trade 2s, get a good look at a 3, something in that. But I think you really need to be able to make up the 3 from, man, UCLA. That is not good. If you're Dayton and you burn all 35 seconds of that shot clock, playing pretty good defense, and they still make a 3, that's very bad for you. There's a 3 for Dayton, so they'll go ahead and reply to a 3 with a 3. So I just need a string of good defensive possessions, or at least be able to match the points. It's too bad they weren't able to take advantage of some of the miscues that UCLA has had. Baseball pass up to the front court. It's a weird looking shot. It might have been deflected maybe, or the character model just got hit in a weird way and it bounced them in an odd direction. But here we go, 46-38. 8-point game. We have 3 minutes remaining. Passing back outside. Have a little bit of a couple players where you probably don't want them if you're UCLA. You have like a center more towards the 3, and then you have point guard or a small guard, shooting guard. Maybe a little too deep. Stripped away. Stolen by University of Dayton. The Flyers showing some fight here in the second half. When the lead was at 15, I was like, well, that's end of game. And just kind of clean your hands and you go, well, get on to the next one. But they've chipped away at this lead. UCLA has not been very good in this second half. They've allowed Dayton to stick around. It's going to be a defensive foul. Looked like it was a reach-in. Probably a good foul because they were running a 3-point specialist around the outside, and it looked like he was going to have a very good look at a 3, which is not what you want if you are the Dayton Flyers. They're going to run it again. Good defensive recovery there. Inside. Ball got loose somewhere. Got picked up by UCLA. That 3-pointer is short. So UCLA maybe not taking the wisest shots here. Speaking of not taking wise shots, that is not a wise shot. It ends up being like, okay. Oh my goodness. Dayton's got the lead down to 4. 46-42. Big free throw here. Flyers put it down, and it is 46-43 with 1:50 remaining here in the second half. Oh my goodness. I wrote this game is done. I'll be honest. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if like Dayton can't make the comeback all the way there. That's fine. It happens. You fall down 15. It's hard to erase that deficit. But at least some kind of fight. 3 from UCLA, too strong. Oh, you idiots. What are you doing? You were gifted. That's the second time The second time that UCLA has gifted Dayton an extra offensive possession, and Dayton has just immediately turned the ball back over. Back out for 3. Throwing it back inside. It's going to be another defensive foul. That's 5 team fouls on UCLA. Dayton gets lucky as UCLA misses another 3 on their end. Gets fouled on this end. Oh, the back end of that is short. See if they can pull together some defense here. They need one good defensive stand. There's no reason for them to get a foul. That's the defensive rebound you needed. You idiots. I don't know why I'm just yelling at them. That's a bad commentary. You idiot, you dum-dum. No! Why? Why did they do that? It was a 2-point game. Dayton literally threw this game away. I don't know why they do that. They throw that back behind them. It's one of the few times I've seen them throw it back where the defense is actually doing a full court press. So that's like kind of a rarity, but also at the same time, it just doesn't make sense why they're even doing it in the first place. Just absolute morons. Well, it was interesting there for a moment. I thought we were going to have something kind of special, but... Threw the ball behind him right to a Bruin. Ended up being very easy points on their end, and that was it. 51-44. 52-44. Oh yeah, you go ahead and take a timeout like you're going to be able to do anything. Like you won't just turn the ball over for literally no freaking reason. 25. $52-44. Quick passes inside, working. You got to take a 3. You got to do something. Or just, all right, cool, great. 52. Oh, hang on. Let me make sure this is correct. 46. UCLA will move on. They will survive Dayton. Not a great game from the Bruins. They let Dayton stick around way too long. Yeah, that should not have been that close. When you're up 15 points, put the damn game away. Don't let a team that you should be crushing, don't let them have an opportunity. Not that hard, forehead. All right. 2 more games here for you. First up, we have Connecticut. Loser. Talking to Dayton. Just want you to know that. Connecticut taking on Iowa State. The Cyclones and the Huskies. Getting it started here. We are going to Ames, Iowa. All-American, 10 minutes. We wind down, punching 2 more tickets here. This will be the final participants in the Sweet 16. Ooh, another naked animal battle. So for some reason, the Cyclones have the logo on them, which is a little weird. So I guess not technically naked. They got a tattoo of the Iowa State Cyclones logo. Every time someone orders from Cyclones.com and uses code CHESTTAT, I get 13 cents. Like, okay. And they paid for this sweet tattoo. They paid for a tattoo. Sweet is maybe not a word that anyone would use. So Iowa State Cyclones, just baseball passing it over there. Lock it in. Oh, that's out of bounds. I thought he was going to be able to move himself inside to get the dribble on the actual court, but instead he just dribbled it on the line. So a little bit of a mental mistake from Connecticut, who scored the opening 2 points to give Iowa State, who scored the tying 2 points, an extra possession. Winner plays Stanford or North Carolina, our final game of the evening. Working around outside, passes back out to the 3-point line. 4-3. That's a 2-pointer, very deep 2-pointer. Was waiting for that 3 from the crowd, but instead it was not that at all. Oh my goodness. A lot of contact there. No foul. Pushes off and calls it good. 4-4 here, Connecticut and Iowa State. Oh my God, what a block by the Huskies there. Incredible move down low. 4-4. Pass inside. Working it around. I don't know how that was not a travel. He looked like he picked up all of his feet and stepped all over the place. And another offensive rebound to a putback. So 6-4. Not great offense in this, the 7th game of the day. Some good defense. Sometimes it's hard to tell if it's bad offense or if it's good defense. It's probably a little bit of both. Nice turnover there for the Iowa State Cyclones, who promptly get blocked in a good defensive play from Connecticut. Shaking and baking the ghost that's guarding him. And instead it'll just be a missed shot and a putback that puts him up 8-4. I do like the midcourt logo for the Cyclones. It just says Cyclones on there. Okay, it's not even the logo. It's just Cyclones. Like just in case you look at this bird and you go, man, where did this bird come from? Oh, the Cyclones. Oh, that I thought the Connecticut Husky got that ball, but it was actually rebounded by Iowa State. He's going to pass it inside. 1-on-1, left side of the key. Moves a little bit to his right. Isn't able to get the ball up and in. So we'll look at an 8-8 game. And with 3.5 minutes to go, we have a pretty low scoring game. Only the second foul here for Iowa State. These teams might be in trouble if they have to face Florida, which would be in the Elite Eight, should they win this game and then move on after the Sweet 16. Florida looking pretty formidable. We'll see what they can do. That was a foul on Connecticut, the first team foul. 9-9 here. I don't believe Iowa State's been in the lead. Now I know for sure they have been in the lead. So with about 4 minutes to go, we have a 1-point difference. Working it around the outside, driving in. That was really, really nice. A nice move there to get such an open look. That Husky wound up to just destroy the backboard, and then a cyclone came out of nowhere, like a cyclone, and they don't foul them hard. I don't know why teams do that. It drives me nuts. I don't have any control over it. I know it's a video game. I understand that. But it's still dumb as hell. It's so dumb to watch a team just be like, we're going to throw it 3/4 of the way down the court for no reason because our shooting backcourt is back here ready to receive the ball to run it up to the front court to run a play. I'm going to throw it 75% of the court to a center who will then promptly just stand there. Or, in that case, they'll just miss it. They'll just, whatever, I'm a center. I'm a big lugging center who's not prepared to catch this ball. Why are you throwing it to me? He's on his phone. All of a sudden, the ball's coming in. Working it around. Another nice block by UConn, who's up by 1. Giving themselves a very easy fast break. The Cyclones with really good recovery defense there. Doesn't give them the outcome that they want, which is 0 points, but at least made it a contested shot. UConn now up 3. Tipped in and good, so the Cyclones will cut it down to 1. Shot up and no good. It'll be team foul number 4 for Iowa State. Iowa State had some foul trouble in the previous tournament in one of their games where they actually were in the in the bonus or whatever it was. They had 8 or 9 team fouls in the first half, which had not happened until Iowa State came in just going, we're hacking everybody. We're hacking, we're slashing, we're blocking. We want that record. We want to be first. Cyclones. Read it and weep, baby. Nice jam home there by Connecticut. Kind of silence in this Iowa State crowd. 3 for Iowa State is up and good. So they'll cut that 7-point lead down to 4. Working it around the outside. Under 4 to go here in the first half. Under 10 seconds to go on the shot clock here. Connecticut almost stepped out of bounds. Wasted their entire possession to just have a turnover. A couple of shots there for them. Deep 3 that was no good and a tip in that just didn't have enough on it to get up and over the rim. Nice play inside off the right iron. No good. That'll be the second foul on Connecticut. And that will be 1 for 2 from the line. 1 for 2 from the line it will remain, as he just somehow was like, I'm going to shoot this one short. Hey, coach, look at this. I'm shooting with my eyes closed. And that might be a 3-point foul. We'll see. First one's good. Looks like maybe it's 3. They only give you the fancy cameras on the ones where the rebound doesn't matter. So 3 for 3 from the line for Connecticut, who has made Iowa State foul them like 6 times at this point, and there's still 2 minutes to go, 2+ minutes to go in this half. That's a nice steal by UConn. I'll drive it forward, pass it off to the right. That one's just out of bounds. So finally Iowa State catches a break, and instead of fouling, they just get it out of bounds. Trying to get the pace a little bit quicker. Iowa State is. They throw it pretty far up the court here. Ooh, a nice block from behind the backboard. Somehow. We got a cheater. Turn on his lag switch. 24-20. 2:15 remaining first half. Working around the outside. They are working with a perimeter attack as well. They don't really have a whole lot going on down in the paint. They almost had a good run at it, but a good defensive move, I should say, from Iowa State nullified that. There's a 3 for Iowa State. It's off the back iron, no good. 27-20. UConn feels like they're in control of this game, but it's not. They don't have that much of a lead at the same time. It's really weird where it's like Iowa State's only down 7, but it also feels like they're down by like 15. Or it seems like it's just going to take them a lot to get back in this game. Things like that will definitely help. We'll see if they can convert here. There we go. Nice little move there. Got an open look. There was a defender right in his face, and he just pulled off the play for some reason. Gave Iowa State way too much of a good look there at a 3. Too easy. Shot is up. That one rattled around or rolled around and dropped. There's another 3 from Iowa State. Not quite as good a look, but not terrible. Trying to cut the 6-point lead in half. Not bad. Having success from beyond the arc. You'll get at least one more possession here. UConn will make it an 8-point game. They'll key the ball in. UConn will definitely get another possession here. Little alley-oop layup situation there. Knocks it back down to 6. 31-25. 23 seconds remaining here, first half. Sliding out to the right, moving back to the middle. Again, a lot of UConn players just at the perimeter. That was an excellent move. Just got around the one defender that he had to worry about. And there wasn't enough of a rotation. They'll throw it way down, and instead it'll be intercepted. We saw Dayton do this against UCLA. And UConn makes them pay by extending it to a 10-point lead at half. That guy was like, I'm open. Just kidding, it's halftime. I don't have to catch that shit. UConn 35, ISU. Iowa State 25. Iowa State will get first crack at the offense here in the second half. And they will miss 3 shots. 4 shots. All right, excellent. Excellent start. That's exactly what you want coming out of halftime. You're all hyped up. You're all fired up. Then you come out, you miss 4 shots in 1 possession. You go, well, fuck. Like, it's all over. Just pack it up. We're done. And very quickly, Iowa State picks up their first foul of the half. They didn't get in the penalty. That's the I used bonus earlier. That was incorrect. Penalty is what I was thinking of. I guess it would be bonus if you're looking at the UConn aspect of it. But I was speaking from the Iowa State perspective. That's a 3 for Iowa State. They'll knock it down. Cut the lead down to 9. 10-point game, at the half. Iowa State's got to be way better about their fouls. UConn comes back. That was a deep 3. And they immediately re-extend the lead to 12 points. Sliding in. There's a nice layup there. Knocking it back down to 10 points. Iowa State, just stick around. That's all you got to do. Just stick around. That one got blocked. Or at least was affected somehow. I didn't hear the thunk of the basketball. It's hard to tell with all these feathers. That's a deep 2. Need to take about half a step back to get that to be a 3. 8-point lead, 40-32. Zipping it up court. Jammed on home. And 2 is responded with 2. Connecticut looking for the steal. Went for it, missed it. Gave a pretty good opportunity to Iowa State to get some points. Iowa State just couldn't make it work. A couple of missed baskets on either end. Remains a 10-point game. Iowa State really got to cut into this lead or take advantage of the missed shots. There you go. That helps. Scoring 2 right there. Single-digit deficit now. And, okay. They're actually going to pass out of it. Thought that was just going to be that weird glitch where that's what happens. Connecticut with a little alley layup there. Not great defense from Connecticut, or Iowa State, excuse me. So that is pretty easy for them. Pardon me. There's a 3-point opportunity on the same style of play that Connecticut had just thrown. Little alley layup thing. Got a little too much contact on him. They'll make the free throw. So it'll make it a 44-37 game. As my nose is all of a sudden decided to become very itchy. Got a guy wide open for 3. If you want it, UConn, they instead throw it to the middle guy. The middle man stripped away. Got a guy coming up on your right. Instead, you missed the dunk and you got blocked. That's what you get for not passing it. All you had to do was pass it to the right, and you were looking at easy 2 points. But instead, you tried to get fancy with it. There's a 3 for UConn. And Iowa State may just not have it in the tank to be able to get it to competitive. Fake the 3, passed out of it. It's going to end up being a double team, and that's going to be stripped away. Nice block by Iowa State. UConn gets it back. Covering that loose ball. Swinging around a guy for 3. They elect not to use it. Looks like they're kind of swinging another guy around for 3. Foul. No foul called, excuse me. A lot of contact down there. Still a 10-point game. Iowa State can work with this. They just have to be more effective. That's a deep 2. Doesn't matter. Didn't go. 47-37 remains our score. There's a 3 for UConn that's too strong off the left iron. There's almost a possibility of an offensive rebound there. Fires in. Drives. Kicks. Off left and right iron. Just can't get it to drop. They're really struggling. Left iron, no good. Iowa State will throw it ahead. By the way, still the same score. 47-37. This has happened in several games now where one team's down and they just can't take advantage of the poor offensive play of the team that's in the lead to really make a good dent in the lead. There's a 3 for Iowa State. There's a nice splash shot. They finally get on the board. They still have time. Probably cut this down to 4 by 2-minute mark or so. Nice block. Somehow that was not a goaltend. That was just a really nice block. I thought that might have been on the way down. The officials didn't call it, so no big deal. Didn't matter. They can't take advantage of their own nice play because they give it right back. UConn, too easy to dunk it there. Swinging around the outside. Popping the 3. Iowa State, they'll have it up. Jeez Louise. That Cyclone just annihilated that Husky. Cyclones might give themselves an opportunity here late if they can make some 3s. They've also done an excellent job at avoiding fouls. I know they just got called for a foul, but considering that they only have 2 fouls on them at the 3:21 mark in the second when they had triple that at the same point in the first half is very good news for the Cyclones. So back to a 10-point game. It's 47-37 for a while. Now it's 53-43, so each team scored 6 points since then. Iowa scored on a couple of 3s. We'll see if they can maybe do something with that. That's going to be a defensive foul. So we'll go to the line to shoot 2. Got to make them count if you're the Cyclones. Splashing them home there, swishing them, doing cool stuff. 8-point deficit. Well, 2, that'll rattle home. And that 10-point deficit may just be too much to overcome for Iowa State this late in the game. I mean, there's a 3. That one's no good. The tip in, no good. That's been Iowa State's problem. I mean, when it was 47-37 for a very long time, Iowa State just couldn't get anything going. They weren't able to take advantage of UConn's misses, and that's a huge problem. It burned so much time not doing anything that now you're kind of stuck shooting these threes. They've been good from deep, but even they can't get rebounds to get putbacks. Hasn't been a great game for Iowa State. That is a tremendously deep 3. He took a step back to launch that shot. Passing around the outside. Moving it around. There is literally no one on the other side of the court. They were all on the left-hand side. That is not good. Spread the floor. Space it. Strip the ball away. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Cyclones never had possession, so the shot clock does not reset. Three. Deep 2 off the side of the backboard. At the buzzer, they're able to make it. That was good defense by Iowa State. Good defense. And they just cannot get the defensive rebound. There are so many offensive rebounds in this game. It is mind-boggling. This big 3 from the Cyclones. Nothing doing there. It looks like that's about what she wrote for this one. Start getting prepped here as we head into the final game. North Carolina taking on Stanford. We're going all the way out west. North Carolina had quite the trip ahead of them. That one blocked by UConn. 35 seconds. They'll just probably run this out. They don't necessarily have to take a shot. I don't imagine that they would. I'm just kidding. They'll go ahead and just jam it in their face. They had a wide open guy just in the middle of the floor, so why not? (59-45), 14-point game. And even when Iowa State was down 7, it felt like they were down a lot more. Put a couple of points on there before we get Iowa State. Don't worry. We're good. 59-47. Final 5 seconds will wind down here. And we will verify that the winner is Connecticut. 59-47. Thanks for not taking a shot there, because I definitely submitted the score before the game was actually done. So UConn punches their ticket. They will be on the road again in the next round, the Sweet 16. They will take on Stanford. Close. You're the home team there, buddy. Stanford and the Tar Heels of North Carolina. God, we get to look at this tree for another chunk of time, so that's good. All right. Game number 8 of the day. North Carolina heading out west to visit the Stanford Trees. We'll get that started here. And they are going all the way across the country from Chapel Hill, North Carolina to whatever pavilion, Stanford, California. Maples Pavilion. We've been here a couple of times because Stanford gets the home game in the Ohio State Stanford series in March. So here we are, back again in Stanford. Pac-10. as it was known back then. We'll see who gets to move on. Stanford, I think it's the only team, but their shot clock is off to the side. It's off to the right side, which is very odd. North Carolina drives it inside, gets blocked by a tree. North Carolina Tar Heels. Poor Stanford always gets the final games of the rounds, as long as Ohio State and Stanford both always get the final games of the rounds, where it's like I'm at my most tired. So here we go. One more ticket to punch. We'll either be going all the way to North Carolina or we'll be staying here in Stanford for the finale of the Sweet 16. There's a big 3 swished home. Stanford finally gets on the board. Actually, a team finally gets on the board, as it took almost a minute for scoring to finally happen. Shot up and good. So UNC quickly responds. It gets it to a 3-2 game. Passing it into the corner. Dancing around. A lot of spin moves. Got a dizzy tree over there on the right. And he's like, no, I don't want the ball. I'm going to throw up. Driving. Nothing doing. Working around the outside. That's going to be a shooting foul. So the second foul on Stanford. North Carolina will go to the line to shoot 2. First free throw is up, and it is good. Second one is no good, and Stanford, one of the rare teams, actually gets a defensive rebound off a missed free throw as he lobbed it behind himself. Whoever's back there, someone get it. Dancing around on the outside. Trying to drive into the paint, but there are 3 Tar Heels there, ready and waiting. Stanford working with a lot of perimeter play. Tried to dive out of bounds, smashed his face into the bench. Shot clock does reset. Too strong off the left iron. They get the ball back. It's blocked. They get the ball back. Finally made it. So 5-3. And kind of a slow start. Sloppy contest. We have 2 teams that look like they're playing pretty similar styles, where they're really content with just working around the perimeter and hopefully getting somebody sprung loose for a 3 or something like that. Stanford, for whatever reason, just didn't have anybody to throw it to, so they whipped it halfway down the court, and North Carolina took the ball away from them. So, confusing plays, and they're doing it again almost. There, that guy finally is like, well, hold on. Wait a second. We have an issue. If we have to keep throwing it halfway down the floor, we'll get a lot of turnovers. Stanford's like, we're Nerd Nation. We don't know how to play basketball, apparently. Wait, hold on. Hang on. The probability. Like, shut up. Just stand next to the guy. It's like a 95% chance that you're going to catch it. Or you can shoot for... Why? Why would you shoot from there? If you're Nerd Nation, you should know the statistics of shooting 47 feet beyond the arc. North Carolina will show you how it's done. Just kidding. They'll miss a shot, but they'll put it back. And quickly, it is 10-5 all of a sudden. It was 5-3. Stanford was up. That was a dangerous pass back across the mid-court line. Stanford kind of trying to run another three-point specialist around the corner. Gets a little shoulder in. That's going to be a foul. Shot goes down, and it'll be an and one opportunity here. Makes it. Thought it was going to miss because it hit that left iron. It just didn't look like it was good. I assumed it would bounce out. There's a 3 from North Carolina. That one is short. Stanford can tie here. They gave up 7 straight points to UNC. UNC can return the favor by giving up 5 straight points to the Stanford Trees. They are really liking this play out here. for their presumed three-point specialist, but they haven't really hit anything. Oh, wait, I think they had to hit a three right at the beginning of the game. Never mind. Never mind. It took them almost a minute to do it, but they finally did get points. That's going to be a 5-second violation. I don't know why you're flexing your muscle. You did literally nothing. Yeah, that's right. He was scared of these guns. You're like, no, I think you just lost track of what was happening. Because smart people sometimes are very stupid. There's a three from North Carolina, swished home. 13-8. Stanford pushes it, pushing the pace quickly up the court. Working it around the outside. That's a deep two if it goes, doesn't matter. The putback was missed as well, bad timing. Working it around the outside. Nice recovery there by North Carolina. There's a three from the Tar Heels. That one's short. Their putback is missed as well. Stanford pushing the pace. Just can't get it to go. Probably, maybe should have thrown it to the guy who was wide open on the left side of the court. Not, I mean, you know, you're the smart ones here. 15-8. North Carolina let Stanford kind of get back into the game, and since they've taken over. Surprisingly, North Carolina hasn't been more of a factor in the Mascot tournament. They had like a 1-3 record coming into this game. Big three from Stanford is just too deep. I don't know. They're shooting them so far beyond the arc. It's good to hear the lovely sounds of bricks. And UNC, 8 straight points has put them up 10 and silenced so-called Nerd Nation. There's a three for Stanford. They finally get it to go. See, Stanford. See how if you get closer to the three-point line, it's easier? You need to take it at the Pac-10 logo. You can take a step closer. That's a 2. UNC knocking it down. Because we had, in the first tournament, we had Duke, who was one of the perennial powers of college basketball. They played very well. They've been a non-factor since, though, weirdly. And I guess I kind of just expected UNC, as a person who somewhat follows real March Madness. And it's like, oh, Duke and North Carolina, they're usually in it. Kansas, Kentucky, whatever. Nice steal there. 2 5-second violations, by the way, for the Stanford Cardinal. They bounce it off the left iron 17 times, and it finally drops. There's a big three from North Carolina, so kind of erasing whatever Stanford had going. UNC's got a little bit of a rhythm going here, scoring some points. I was going to note right about the 5-minute mark that it looked like it was just going to be kind of a slower-paced game. And for a while it was. Very low scoring, but UNC will probably get the standard number of points that we see at the end of the half, which is somewhere between 26 and 32. Stanford, on the other hand, they need to put in a little bit of work here. 23-17. That helps. Now they just need a little bit of defense to help them. Swing it around for a three. Can't leave them wide open like that. Just like that 9-point game. 26-17. 2 minutes remaining here. Final first half of today's action. Be back tomorrow with the entirety of the Sweet 16. Play some Fall Guys before that, so hopefully that sounds good. I got to get a win. I didn't get a win today. I saw a lot of finals, and I did not get a win. I got to go in and clip that garbage win that I should have had. Nice block by North Carolina. Making sure that... What? What? How did that pass work? He threw it like this, and somehow it went ahead of him. Third team foul on Stanford. Off the front iron, no good. Second shot is good, though. So that'll push it to a 10-point lead, 27-17. And stolen right at the 3-point line of Stanford by North Carolina. See what they do here. Not only is the shot clock off to the right, which is a weird position, it's tiny. It's so small. Working it around. Kinda stolen away. Stripped and stolen by Stanford. Or by North Carolina, I'm sorry. Working around the outside. 17 seconds on the shot clock left. Looked like it was stuffed by a Stanford player. North Carolina got 3 shots at the basket and could not put it in, which is surprising. Also surprising is that there is still time. There's a difference between the shot and game clock. That got turned off immediately as I said that sentence, and then UNC just walked off the playing surface. They're like, we're good. 10-point lead. Let's just take it into the locker room right now. Rally up, everybody. Up and good. So North Carolina now up 29-21. They throw it way farther down the court than they really need to. 3, 2, 1. That's a fade away. Tip in doesn't go. Let's say it's a fade away 2, maybe. All the way 2. North Carolina will get first crack at it. 8-point game at half, 29-21. Stanford steals it immediately. Rockets it ahead. And a nice jam there to cut it down to 6. North Carolina dominated the first half. Stanford stuck around, though. Like sap on a tree. North Carolina backing it up for some reason. That looked very weird. Get out of whatever weird graphical thing that was. Get into a play to run. Trade in 2s, lead back to 8, 31-23. Stanford at times has just looked bad on the floor. North Carolina's looked very good. That's not a good play, though. As it is now 31-24, so 7-point game. A little more familiar score for Stanford. I don't know if Stanford's a football school or a basketball school. I'd assume that they are neither. I guess football. The women's basketball team is very good. They had some very good matchups against Oregon this last season that were entertaining. Until the third quarter when Oregon would just take over. And then it was all of a sudden, it was like a 20-point game. And you're like, wait, huh? How'd that happen? Oh, that's right. Sabrina Ionescu. She happened. Ionescu and Satu Sablu. Stanford, for whatever reason, just wouldn't really have much of an answer. North Carolina had an answer for that block shot. It's called get the loose ball. Except for Stanford stole it. Got a pretty easy run at a fast break here. It's going to be a layup up and in. So 31-26. And an offensive foul. Stanford is doing some excellent work here on the defensive end. They're forcing turnovers. They're forcing mistakes from UNC. They're getting fouls. Good stuff here if you want to put yourself back in the game. Now down 5. Down 8 at the half. Not really in super contention for the lead throughout most of the first half. Now a 3-point game, 31-28. Finally, UNC ends their scoring drought with an authoritative jam. You can pass it out to the right, get a guy wide open. And that's not the person I was talking about, but okay. Tried to go for the steal. There's a 3 for Stanford. Couldn't get it, but the putback is successful. And a very exciting couple of minutes here. Stanford was down 8. Pardon me. Down 8. Now they're only down 3. 2 from North Carolina is good. So that drops in. Stanford, you can't do that. You're going to start falling apart here, and all of a sudden it's going to be a lead that you might not be able to come back from. What's 3 now? 7. Stanford giving up 4 straight points to the Tar Heels. Swinging around. There's a nice jam home for Stanford. It's in their own drought. Cut the lead back down to 5. Over 3 minutes gone here. Second half. Final ticket. And we're punching to the Sweet 16. North Carolina in control through most of this game, so it looks like it might be them. Stanford, though, sticking around. Giving themselves an opportunity here in the second half. North Carolina really controlled the first half. They were up more than 5 points for a large portion of it, and that was a very bad three-point shot. It was very deep into the shot clock as well. It's kind of an unnecessarily deep 2. But hey, if it works, it works. That's one of those where you're like, ooh, that's a bad, okay, all right. All right. Let's not make it a habit, but this time it worked. Stanford trying to close this gap. That's not going to help. They were gifted a little bit of a mistake where the Tar Heel ran too far past the shooting spot. Driving on. Trying to drive the defender back and just stepped out of bounds. The baseline bandit strikes again. That defender said, I don't want any part of this. My person to defend is back here. I'm scared. Someone help. First free throw up and good. So 6-point game here with 5:21 remaining. Now a 7-point game. Stanford had it as close as 3. Been down by as many as 10. I believe. 8 for sure, maybe 10. I don't know. Stanford, why don't you score a 3 and make it 10 so that I'm right? Hey, perfect. Excellent. A steal right on cue. Now shoot a 3. And you know what? I will take that. Not excellent. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Now all you have to do is just make the free throw. That's all I need. You're also welcome to miss the free throw and get 2 points. Remember, the baseline was just 10 points. Now, for sure, they have been up by double digits. That was a really bad turnover for Stanford. Since they closed it to 3 at like, what was it, 34, 31? 31-28. They haven't really done a whole lot of good on the offensive or defensive end. See if they have one more run in them here. Doesn't need to be a big run. Just need to close out 8 points, giving them that. Okay. Now it just needs to be 11 points because apparently you don't understand the concept. Step 1, play defense. Don't allow them to just shoot threes like that. Step 2, make a 3. Check. Check that one off. So it'll cut it down to a 10 or a 9-point game. So the maximum lead now 12. Or, I'm sorry, 11. Now it's an 8-point game. Jamming it home, back up to 10. All right. All right. Let's do this for a little while, I guess. Back out to the top. Look like they're running a guy around. That one got stolen somehow. I thought that was going to be far enough outside to not get stolen. But what do I know? I'm just a handsome young man commentating a video game. Come on, Stanford. Pull the trunk out of your butt. Well, that's helpful. There's something. Let's see. Working it around. There's a little alley. Oh my god. Little alley layup. They get the putback. That was absolutely demolished by the North Carolina defender. So we have 3:19 remaining. By the 1:30 mark, they need to have this down to 6. Down to 6 with possession of the ball. That's 3 good stops and 2 threes. 4 good stops and 3 twos. That's a good stop right there. There you go. Push the ball forward a little bit. Oh, that's not what you wanted. I also think I thought the lead was 12, but it is actually only 10. Just kidding. It's 12. There we go. And all I had to do was wait. I said to wait 2 seconds, and I was going to be right either way. 53-41. Might just be too little, too late. There's a nice 3. That one was short. Good rebound, though. Just kidding. Well, it was a good rebound. It was a bad putback. All right. You have 45 seconds to score 8 points. I'm sorry. Sorry. That was for Stanford, North Carolina. That was not a note for you. Now a 14-point game and a completely silent crowd here in Stanford, California. It's going to be a defensive foul. Shot is up and good. So down to 13. And down to 12. 1 minute, 6 points. See what they do here. Off the right iron, no good. There you go. There's a nice defensive rebound, Stanford. Now turn it into points. Turn it into something. Okay. You get lucky that time. I was about to be very confused and lay into you for why you took a step back and to the left, and we're like, I'm going to let it go from here. Guess that's that spot. He might get a backcourt violation. Okay. The way that he was standing and dribbling is sometimes when they do that, when they push off with their shoulder, they back up a little bit too far. So I was curious if he would dribble it on the wrong side of the court and be a turnover. There's no reason for Stanford to foul. Do not foul. I will lose my marbles. Do not intentionally foul. There you go. There you go. That was an excellent defensive stand right there. That's a 9-point game right here. Stanford's got to get something going here. I swear to God, don't you dare get a 5-second violation. Working it around. That's a little mid-range too. That one was short, but it is a put back. Jammed home. 7-point game. 38.4 to go. There you go. Now you can foul. Now you can do it. But it was getting so... In some of the other games, like right at the minute mark, if they're down by enough points, the computer will automatically start fouling regardless. In this game, it's a little better. It's a little more lenient. But there are times where, regardless of the shot clock, they'll start fouling, and it's like, well, it doesn't make sense. You wouldn't foul with 6 seconds. You wouldn't intentionally foul with 6 seconds on shot clock. That doesn't make any sense. You wouldn't do that. So thankfully, they did not do that. Now, North Carolina probably too good here to overcome a 9-point deficit. God. You want to talk about some nightmare fuel? Just look at this Stanford mascot. Dear God. Got a guy wide open for 3. Instead, you're taking a 2 and missing. All right, cool. Good game, Stanford. Idiots. Why do they call you Nerd Nation if you don't even know that you have to score 3 instead of 2? How do you catch up in a game when you're down? Score 2s. Trade 2s. That means that it's even, stupid. (57-48). There's a 3 that's missed as the final 5 seconds of the round of 32 come to a close. 57-48. North Carolina. Go ahead and submit that score so they will finish off the Sweet 16 for us tomorrow night. And that will do it for part 6 of September Mascot Madness 2. Thank you so much for watching. Let's get you a matchup to look at here. We have Washington taking on Villanova. The Huskies still in the game, or in the tournament, I should say. They lost, so they just get deleted. Washington starts with a W there, bud. Villanova. So a top 15 matchup. Followed by Boston College taking on Louisville. Memphis and Baylor. Maryland, Pittsburgh, Miami, South Carolina, Arizona State Temple, Florida, UCLA, and Connecticut and North Carolina. Refresh this real quick. We have a bunch of people whose brackets are locked in, which is unfortunate. Redneck Girl is currently in the lead, and they are most likely locked. Actually, they're locked into a victory. I don't know what. Hello? Computer, do you want to, like, not do that? Don't just... Okay. I was looking at my web browser, and then OBS, like, just popped up front. I'm like, alright. That's scary. Redneck Girl, they're going to win. They have a current score of 29. They score potential of 133. The Beeb is in second with 24. They have a score potential of 28, so they can't quite overcome the deficit. They just don't have the points left. It's a Guessing Game is locked in at third with 19. I am locked in at fourth with 18. And Blind Guesses, brought to you by Harper, is locked in fifth with 15. So unfortunately, a lot of brackets took a lot of damage early, which is a bummer. That happened... It's happened in a tournament before where things were set pretty early. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, crap. What? But that'll do it for part number 6. Thank you so much for watching. This will be part number 7, leading off part number 7 as we continue to crown a champion. The round, the Sweet 16 will be all one round because it's only 8 games, and then we have the finale, which consists of the Elite 8, Final 4, third place, and the championship game. So stay tuned for that. We'll be wrapping this up. We'll be wrapping this up on YouTube next week. We'll be wrapping this up, I guess, on YouTube next week, on YouTube and on Twitch. I thought less than half was bad earlier. Oh, that's true. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but there you go. Thanks for watching, YouTube. We'll see you later. Have a good one. I don't know how to outro these videos. I'm so bad at outros. I'm bad at outroing videos and leaving phone messages.